Tickets for the Scottish Gas National Open Swimming Championships are on sale now.
The wait is over.
Buy your tickets at ticketmaster.co.uk/Scottish Swimming or phone 08 444 999 990.
Come down to the Tollcross International Swimming Centre to come see me and more than 700 other swimmers compete.
The Scottish Gas National Open Swimming Championships, Tollcross International Swimming Centre, 3rd to the 6th of April 2014.
Was great, but I'm getting ready to make 2014 even better.
It'll be a great night just to catch up, relax, and as a swimmer actually get to dress up and look normal.
And then a chance to see lots of people from all around different parts of swimming and have a good evening with them.
The awards ceremony was fantastic with most people turned out ever, so years to come it's just going to get bigger and bigger.
Finally, the wait is over.
Looking for the perfect present this Christmas? Get a whopping 40% off official Scottish swimming merchandise. Simply go to shop.scottishswimming.com for a range of t-shirts, hoodies and vests.
Good morning and welcome to QuipuTV's coverage of the Scottish Gas National Short Course Championships live from the Royal Commonwealth Pool in Edinburgh. I'm Duncan McKinnell and joining me in the commentary box for this session is Andy Mayer. Andy, back for a second day. Welcome back.
Yeah, morning Duncan. It's fantastic to be here for day two. Yesterday's racing was fantastic. Really, really exciting all the way through all the three sessions, I would say.
Yep, so I had the privilege of being on the poolside commentary yesterday rather than on with you, so I'm very grateful to Charlie Rayburn for putting in an excellent job yesterday, but we'll try and live up to his high standard. So going back to yesterday then, Andy, any particular race that stood out for you?
It's really hard to try and pick one out of what was a fantastic night of finals. I thought that the women's 100 freestyle was electric racing. I really enjoyed that. And also the men's 400 freestyle. It was so hard to predict the winner from there, but obviously Robbie coming through to claim that victory, which was a fantastic finish.
Yeah, because he'd played out a little cute in the heats, hadn't he? And he was in, I think, lane 7. So you were slightly worried for him in the morning as to whether he was going to produce it, but no problems in the end.
Yeah, it's always hard coming into these meets to understand on just where these senior racers are within their personal programs, whether they're in a big block of training that they're hurting, they could be a little bit tired, but Robbie's such a seasoned racer now, and he just seemed to show that experience that he's gathered over years of international competition when he came back in that final 100.
Yep, so if we look forward to this morning then, obviously we've got the heats this morning, starting off with women's 50 freestyle, men's 100 breaststroke. That will be interesting when Murdoch, new Scottish record in the 50 yesterday.
Yeah, very much so, and let's not count out Craig Benson as well, because he's here and we've seen some good racing, but the field is so strong in each of these events. You really don't know where these medals are going to go, and also who's going to really raise the bar for the rest of the field.
Yep, and then of course we've got the women's 200 backstroke, and we saw Lizzie Simmons in electric form yesterday on the sprints, and she's not known as a sprinter, is she?
No, very much. You're very right there, but I was really enjoying the underwater footage that we could see of her really using those turns, and short course that's so important, so to see her do that through a 200 today, I think that'll be fantastic for the people watching.
So do you think she may be knocking on the door of her British record on the 200 backstroke as well today?
I think that the scene is very well set for that to happen. Everybody seems to be racing really well here. The atmosphere is electric on poolside. Just looking down onto the pool, and it's incredible. You feel a real sense of an arena that they're racing in here.
Yep, you get a sense from the picture now just how the pool's set up with the main tank split into two. So you can see the competition pool there on the right-hand side, and they're using the bottom half of the main tank as a swim-down facility. And then over in the distance you can see the diving pool, which has got the lane ropes in and the diving block, so they can use that as well. Although I think that will be quiet while the competition's going, but in between sessions and for warm-ups they're able to use that. And then you can see we've got swimmers on the blocks there ready to start. There they are. We start off with the women's 50 freestyle, so it'll be pretty fast and furious, so a quick way to get ourselves going, wide awake.
It is indeed, yeah. This will be just like yesterday's start of racing with a men's 50 freestyle, an explosive start to the morning.
So yep, so it should be some excellent stuff today. It's a bright, slightly cooler day in Edinburgh today, but it looks as though the sun's going to be shining once it finally wakes its way up in the December mornings here. But a nice day in Edinburgh, and it's going to be another exciting day here. So glad you could join us, and I hope you enjoy the session. You can see there now on your screens the lineup for this first heat. There's going to be 7 heats in all in the women's 50 freestyle. Pretty much every event will have 7 heats. It's a very full meet. Fortunately, we did have to reject some swimmers because it was too full. Just shows the standard, and with teams like Loughborough and Bath and Sheffield coming up, just shows the recognition now that this meet has in the calendar in Britain. So they're up on the blocks now and ready to go for Heat 1. So away we go. We've got Amy Robertson of Dundee City Aquatics in 1, Charlotte Duff of Newburn in 2, Katie Phillips and Thomas in 3, Tiffany Bachelet of East Lothian in 4, Elizabeth Lim of Warrender in 5, Nicola Lamb of Fife Performance in 6, Karen Reid of South Ayrshire in 7, and Robin Flockett of Eyemouth in lane 8.
Really tough to call this first 50 here, Duncan, but we're looking possibly to Karen Reid for the finish, and it is
27.32 for Karen, and there she is in lane 7, and there's the 1, 2, 3 for you, and the full result. Karen Reid 27.32 was first, Nicola Lamb second, and Katie Phillips was third. 27.53, 27.54 second and third, just 100th between them as we move rapidly on to Heat 2, and there's the lineup for you. So just running through the lineup: Jenna Lafferty of First in 1, Rebecca Buse, City of Aberdeen in 2, Ailsa Beck of South Aberdeenshire in 3, Laura Gillingham of Derwentsside in 4, Gulsum O'Neill of West Lothian in 5, Kimberly Mackay of Warrender in 6, Paige Lang, Mulgai and Best End in 7, and Terry Johnson of Dumfries in 8.
Lane, it's all happening on the near side of the pool again here. It's really hard to call who's going to be on the finish. Maybe lane 4 of Laura Gillingham.
Good spot, Andy. It was Laura Gillingham, 27.58, so just a tad away from her entry time, and a little slower, in fact, than the first heat. That was a good swim from Karen Reid in the first heat. The 1, 2, 3 then: Laura Gillingham, 27.58, Kimberly Mackay second, 27.74, and Gulsum O'Neill in third, 27.81. So whistle going for Heat 3. And the lineup: Emily Tang of Mulgai and Bearsden in 1, Lauren Mackenzie of Elgin in 2, Erin Cummins of Perth City in 3, Katie Johnson of Fife Performance in 4, Hannah Voot of Mulgai and Bearsden in 5, Emily Grant, City of Aberdeen in 6, Zoe Mitchell of Carnegie in 7, and Caitlin Hamilton of East Lothian in 8.
So eyes on the pink and black suit of lane 5 here of Hannah Voot as she comes in to finish. That's the quickest of the morning so far, Duncan.
Yep, 27.09. She was entered 27.10, so just nudged faster than that. A PB is a PB. Second place, Lauren Mackenzie, 27.37, and third, Katie Johnson, 27.58. Just 200ths faster than Emily Tang there.
You're right, yeah. PBs, they all count, right?
Yep. You'll remember that one, I should think.
Very much so.
So heat 4 going onto the blocks now. And the lineup for Heat 4, Fiona Ingalls of Edinburgh University in 1, Anna Fleming, City of Glasgow in 2, Eleanor Spencer of Stirling in 3, Jessica Christie, South Aberdeenshire in 4, Rachel Masson, South Aberdeenshire in 5, Caitlin Tootle, City of Aberdeen in 6, Kate Fraser of Guisborough in 7, Emma Crawford of East Lothian in 8.
And it's lane 5 again of Rachel Masson as we come into the finish.
25.56, wow. That was impressive. 26.80 Rachel Masson's entry time, so absolutely murdered that. So excellent swim there.
That was huge.
Jessica Christie, her teammate, second, 26.53, and Caitlin Tootle, another from Aberdeen, 26.69 in third place. So Northeast ruling in that one. Rachel Masson. So 3 heats to go into the cycle seeded heats now. So Daniel Joyce goes in 1, Amelia Morn in 2, Kirsty Simpson in 3, Eloise Barber in 4, Charlotte Mackenzie in 5, Samantha Caulfield in 6, Jessica Wilkie in 7, and Amy Harper in 8.
So hard to split them at the moment. Duncan Eloise Barber with a really strong turn there in the white hat in lane 4. She's looking good to take this, but eyes on lane 2 of Amelia Morn as well. It's going to be tight into the finish. And it is in
Amelia
lane 2.
Morn, yep, 25.54. Barber just behind her, 25.70. And looks like Charlotte Mackenzie in third. And the 1, 2, 3 there, Amelia Morn. 25.54 to win it. Eloise Barber second, 25.70, and Charlotte Mackenzie in 26 seconds dead in third. Two heats to go. So Tame Bruce in 1, Alicia McCrory in 2, Lauren Averill in 3, Emma Wilkins in 4, Lucy Hope in 5, Katie Stark in 6, Rachel Sharples in 7, Rebecca Murray in 8.
All the action in the centre of the pool on this one. Duncan, lane 4 of Emma Wilkins out of Loughborough, swimming very fast down this second length. She's got her head right down, straight towards the wall now. Let's see what she can stop the clock at.
Ooh, 25.61. Entered 24.94, so I suspect there's a little more to come tonight on that one. And she is looking philosophical. And the 1, 2, 3, Emma Wilkins then, 25.61. Lucy Hope second, 25.86. And Lauren Averill third, 26.35. That Lucy Hope one was only about 12 hundredths away from the Scottish junior record there, so maybe she'll be knocking on the door of that if she makes a second swim tonight, which I should think she will. So on to the final heat. Megan Donnelly in 1, Andrea Strachan in 2, Julie Hunter in 3, Amy Smith in 4, Sian Harkin in 5, Hayley Monteith in 6, Gillian Clark in 7, and Rachel Wilson in 8.
And it's in the centre lanes again that we're looking here. Amy Smith in lane 4, Sian Harkin in 5. Amy Smith was the winner of the 100 last night, so really wanting to take the double here, it would seem.
And I would think she'll be pretty odds-on favourite. 24.85, that was pretty fast. Certainly a lot faster than anything we've seen in the earlier heats. So that will set out a statement for the final tonight, I would think, from Amy. Sian Harkin, 25.33 in second place. And Hayley Monteith third, 26.40. Quite a big spread out in times there for the top three.
Yeah, very unusual to say that that was one of the fast heats at the end there.
So the summary of the whole event there, you see there the people who will be in the B final, and we then scroll through the other times all the way through, 25 to 32 there.
So important for these swimmers to be wide awake when it's a 50 so early in the morning. We've seen some girls there doing really good swims and some just letting it pass them by. So important for them to be wide awake for this.
As a swimmer, would you want to have a sprint event first thing?
Well, yeah, I would definitely would, because I'd hope that some of the guys I was racing hadn't woken up yet. So I'd use that as an advantage, definitely.
On the basis that you had woken up, of course. So we move straight on now to the men's 100 breaststroke. We've got 6 swimmers going in this first heat. And away they go. Joshua Campbell, City of Sunderland in 2, Liam Buchanan of North Lanarkshire in 3, Finlay Douglas of Geary in 4, David Colley, City of Glasgow in 5, Struan Stewart of East Lothian in 6, and Ross Hughes of North Ayrshire in 7.
So again, quite a change in pace now as we move into the breaststroke, which is the slower of the 4 strokes. And we've got all the action happening at the bottom of our screen here. We're looking at Ross Hughes in the white hat here in lane 7. He's going to be turning onto the wall just in first place, but there's not much between him and the yellow hat of Struan Stewart there. It's going to be a tough one to call down this second 50, Duncan.
Yep, so Ross Hughes coming into this meet with the slowest entry time, 1:14, and all the others on 1:11, but you wouldn't know that from his performance over the first 75. Struan Stewart maybe has just got the edge on him now as they turn into the final length.
Yeah, possibly so, but there's a good battle going on down the pool here, so good bit of racing, pushing each other.
Yeah, does look like Stewart is just going to take it in the yellow cap. Struan Stewart does take it, 1:08.20. Nice PB there for both of them. Ross Hughes entered on 1:14, coming in 1:08.88 as well. So he'll be highly delighted, you would think, with that. There's Struan looking a bit puffing and blowing as he grabs the lane rope. And the 1-2-3 there. Struan Stewart first, 1:08.20. Second place was Ross Hughes. So there's the start list for Heat 2. 8 swimmers. And line up: Ewan Dalgleish, West Lothian in 1, Toby Douglas of Eyemouth in 2, Aaron Law, South Aberdeenshire in 3, Adam Murray, Dundee University in 4, Daniel Tiffin, City of Aberdeen in 5, 6 is Greg Reid of Carnegie, 7 Billy Davis, South Lanarkshire, and 8 Ross Burns of South Lanarkshire.
So now the focus switches to the middle of the pool here, Duncan, as we're watching the red hat of Adam Murray in lane 4. Seems to be leading out this heat here. We're going to keep an eye on the clock as he turns at the 50, and it is Adam Murray who leads Aaron Law.
So fairly tight here, but it does look to be the red-capped Adam Murray. We've not seen Dundee University as a swimming force over the years, but good to see them now coming and competing in national events as a team. And we take on the Edinburgh and Stirling guys.
Very much so, yeah, and it's great to see a massive third length there from Adam. He's really made his breakaway and he's just stretching down this 4th length. Let's see what he can stop the clock on. This is looking like a good PB though.
Yeah, enter 1:09.87 and he comes in 1:07.32, so a second and a half of an improvement. 2.5 seconds, my apologies, for Adam of an improvement. And there he is. Adam Murray then, 1:07.32 to win it. Aaron Law second, and Daniel Tiffin third. 1:08.75 and 1:10.06 respectively. So they do seem wide awake first thing this morning. We're seeing some good PBs coming through already. On to Heat 3, Taylor Young of St Thomas in 1, Michael Tang, Edinburgh University in 2, Matthew Fennick of South Lanarkshire in 3, Kieran Preston, South Aberdeenshire in 4, Craig Watt of West Lothian in 5, David Muir of Bren 96 in 6, Alistair Crichton of Warrender goes in 7, and Martin Douglas, City of Glasgow in 8.
And it's all happening on the edges again here, Duncan. At the moment, Michael Tangoff is having a great swim out in lane 2. He might be our leader at the turn, and he is indeed, but there's not a lot in it. Matthew Fennick so close to him on lane 3, but Now we're seeing a really, really good charge from David Muir in lane 6 from the red 96 hat. He's really taken hold of the third 25 here, Duncan.
Yeah, that's a good third length there from him, and he has moved up from the pack into the lead. David Muir, the Wren swimmer.
Oh, he's really stretching out down the fourth length now, and we're keeping an eye out for the rest of the places. Lane 8 and Martin Douglas also doing well, so going to see some good PBs here.
So they were a little slow in the first half, but coming through 109.23, so slight improvement for David Muir. He entered 109.49, so about a quarter of a second knocked off. And second place, Kieran Preston, 109.28, so just 500ths in it. And then Martin Douglas third, 109.43.
You're right, these guys are definitely gonna have to get in the mix of the racing here and getting wide awake. If you guys are wide awake at home and watching, then please get in touch on Twitter. Send us your tweets in. The hashtag is SGSC13 live. It'd be lovely to hear what you think of the racing so far. And also, we've got an Instagram competition to tell you about as well. If you're taking some pictures, post those pictures in to hashtag SGSC13 pics and get the chance to win a guidebook of Glasgow.
So we're on to Heat 4 now. Ian Elric of first in 1, Craig Barnes of Carnegie in 2, Scott Quinn of Warrender in 3, Cameron Prock, South Lanarkshire in 4, Benedict Tortolano of Stirling in 5, Greg Watson, 5 Performance in 6, Callum Deans of Elgin in 7, Jordan Lamb of 5 Performance in 8.
So our leader's looking like lane 5 of the yellow hat so far, and it is. It's Benedict Tortolano who's taken us out on this heat.
So he was the junior champion yesterday in the 50 breaststroke, so promising youngster. Used to be in the Warrender programme, moved west to Stirling in the last few months. Of course, we've got Scott Quinn here, the finalist in the IPC World Championships, the S14 category swimmer, going in lane 3. He's a little bit off the pace.
Just a little bit, but let's keep an eye on the board for these finishes.
Fairly close, but Tortolano held it, 106.44, and that's the fastest we've seen. And inside his entry time by 6/10, so good respectable swim there. Looks very serious about it. And there's the 1, 2, 3. Tortolano first, 106.44. Barnes second, 106.82, and Cameron Park third, 107.07. And the line up for Heat 5. Benedict Tortolano. I think some of you remember Joe Tortolano that played football for Hibs, and Benedict, I think, is a relation of his. I think he might be a nephew. Correct me if I'm wrong there. On to Heat 5. Chris McColm of East Lothian in 1, Daniel Lim, Warrender in 2, Callum Tate of Edinburgh University in 3, Jamie Graham, City of Glasgow in 4, Nicholas Quinn, Edinburgh University in 5, Matthew Nicholson, City of Glasgow in 6, Andrew McFadden, South Lanarkshire in 7, and Cameron Muir of South Ayrshire in 8.
So the first of the 3 seeded heats here, Duncan, and we've got a great leader, Jamie Graham, to City of Glasgow in lane 4.
Well, Jamie Graham has had a pretty strong few months recently, and both in the breaststroke and in the fly. He'll certainly be one who will be hoping to be on the team to Glasgow.
I'd hope so too. Really looking strong on the sprint event so far, so it'll be interesting to see how he's from the 50 up to the 100 today, but really grabbing hold of this heat here. Great name to watch running in through the Commonwealth season.
So he's got a sub-minute entry time, 59.39. The clock just coming towards the minute now. He's getting very close to it, just over the minute, 1:00:21, but by a long way the fastest we've seen so far. Second, Callum Tate. Do you see that? Very nice on his back there. He's now submerged it, so you just can't get the shot of it, but that is a spectacular setting. There's the 1, 2, 3. Jamie Graham, 1:00:21. Callum Tate second, 1:01.81, and the Irishman Nicholas Quinn third, 1:01.91. So 2 heats to go, and there's men's 100 breaststroke. So next up, Ross Murdoch, Andrew Rodgie. One of them got under the minute. Wouldn't put money against it.
I think that it could be on if we keep our eyes fixed on the centre lanes here. Could be in for a treat maybe this morning.
And there is the lineup. There's obviously a slight delay in proceedings as the referees asked the swimmers to leave the pool, so we've just got a wee delay before we get this heat underway. They won't be too long. Very strong breaststroke group, of course. Michael Jimson's not here. He's in Denmark at the European Short Course Championships.
Yeah, but not lacking in quality here. It seems Scotland are still producing great breaststrokers season after season, and Ross Murdoch having a great season last one, so it looks hopeful for the Commonwealth Games, getting in amongst the medals.
Yes, it does indeed, and it's great when there's real competition for the team and nobody can feel confident that their place is booked, can they?
Oh, very much so. The 50-metre breaststroke, I think on paper at the moment we have something like 5 breaststrokers who are capable of doing that qualifying time, and as a nation we can only take 3 to the competition, so it's fantastic.
And just coming through there, you can see there's a disqualification being called in that last heat, so that's what the delay was about. And it was Nicholas Quinn of Edinburgh University who was disqualified, so that means that Matt Nicholson is promoted to 3rd place, his time 1:02.10. The first and second swimmers as before, Jamie Graham and Callum Tate. So first disqualification of the morning, because there have been some changes to the breaststroke rules since the summer. So around about how you touch with your hands, they have to be separated as they touch the wall, so 1 or 2 swimmers have fallen foul of that.
Sometimes that's just a lack of knowledge as well, Duncan.
Yep, just these slight tweaks to the rules. They're not major changes, but yeah, they have to be on the ball, both coaches and swimmers.
Can I just remind coaches that by 10 o'clock this morning we need...
It's always a little bit of a waiting game when there's been a delay. The swimmers ready, all stood there, tops off, ready to go, and then there's this moment where it's just a lull, and it's really important for them to keep their focus at this point, because it would be so easy to just switch off. But here we go.
So this is heat 6, ready to go. And the lineup: Jack McComish, City of Glasgow in 1, Chris Kerr of Warrender in 2, Joseph Wellstead of Stirling in 3, Ross Murdoch, University of Stirling in 4, Andrew Rodgie of Warrender in 5, Luke Spain of University of Bath in 6, Nicholas Cook of Derwentsside in 7, and Greg Watson of Mulgai and Best End in 8.
So our leaders, as we said, in the centre of the pool, Ross Murdoch of the white hat in lane 4, followed closely by Andrew Rodgie in lane 5. Turning very quick, 28.03. It looks like it could be on here.
Yep, that's around about a tenth faster than Jamie Graham was at the halfway point, and Murdoch really starting to stretch it out now. He's got about 2.5 metres on the rest of the field, going well over in lane 2. Chris Kerr and Joe Wellstead beside him.
Yeah,
so
the
battle for
second place could be anybody's, but Ross Murdoch powering down this last length. Let's keep an eye on the clock here.
It's going to be well under the minute here, 58.87. The Scottish record stands at 57.97, so only, what's that, 9/10 away from that. So who knows, maybe tonight. And the summary then: Ross Murdoch 58.87 takes it. Joseph Wellstead second, 101.09, and just 600ths behind him Chris Kerr, 101.15. And we're hearing news of S15 hearing impaired record from Chat McComish in that last one. Congratulations to him. I think that must have been a British record. And that's confirmed. That was a British record for Jack McComish. So congratulations to the City of Glasgow swimmer as we move on to the final heat. Kyle Borley of Derwentsside in 1, Mark Campbell, City of Aberdeen in 2, Mark Tully of East Lothian in 3, Craig Benson of Warrender in 4, Douglas Scott of Stirling in 5, Ian Ingalls, Edinburgh University in 6, Ian Rose of Warrender in 7, and Martin Kerry of Dundee University in 8.
So Douglas Scott lane 5 looks to be our leader at the halfway point. Craig Benson in the red hat in lane 4. Very talented breaststroker, but not having the best of starts, so opening the door for Douglas Scott in the black hat of lane 5 to really power down the third 25 here.
Yeah, Douglas Scott maybe feel that he has got something to prove here, because he's sort of been the forgotten man almost in Scottish breaststroke swimming, but he could well come through and cause a surprise this year.
I know, I'd hope so for Douglas, because he's a really talented swimmer.
And it looks like he is going to hold Benson off, although it's pretty close. Well, no, he didn't, in fact. Benson took it. He must have absolutely nailed that finish. But it was quite a bit slower, 101.32 in the previous heat, so those guys are going to have to wait and see where they are in the standings. Benson there, 101.32. There's the summary for you. He takes it. Douglas Scott second, 101.42, and Mark Tully third, 101.84. So we should see the scrolling of the summary any moment now. So it'll be interesting to see who the top 8 are here. Just wait for that to come up for you. And there is the top 8. So you can see Benson is there. He's 6th. Scott 7th. And there's the B final. So Tully didn't make the A final. He's top leaders of the B final. And the ones who have just missed out there, Jack McComish with that British S15 record, 105.21. Some previous record stood at 105.8. So he'll be pleased about that. 105.5 in fact the previous record, so he took 3/10 off it.
Just shows how fast people are swimming through all of the heats here, as the final heat there, which was it contains some of the fastest swimmers in the event, and they only qualified for the final in 6th and 7th. So it's showing how fast the earlier heats are at the moment.
Yep, you've got to be on your game in the heats, and that's certainly good practice for them, because when it comes to the big events, you don't get a second chance if you don't really pull your A game out in the heats. So we move on now to the women's 200 backstroke. And the first of the 7 heats, we have Lauren Pirouet of first in 1, Chanel Snedden also of first in 2, Emma Mason of Stirling in 3, Ines Holiday of Elgin in 4, Natalie Lees of West Lothian in 5, Beth Armour of Aberdeen in 6, Katie Johnson of Fife Performance in 7, and Caitlin Duffy of South Ayrshire in 8. So a slightly longer event here, 8 lengths. A little more time for us to catch our breath. Beth Armour with the advantage at 50. She's got about a body length lead. Well, maybe slightly less than that. Lane 2, I think in second place, Chanel Snedden. And then lane 5 also going well, Natalie Lees. So there's the leading 3 at 75 metres. Still Beth Armour.
Yeah, Beth looking really good, and her underwater still helped bring her out of each turn quite well. But I think this second 100 might look towards a change of leader. And I think that Chanel Snedden's going to try and get up on terms and see if she can take over the lead.
Certainly she's right up there now over in lane 2 in that dark blue cap for the first team. And it does look like lane 2 is the new leader, as you called it, Andy.
And yeah, fantastic turn there up from lane 2. Keep an eye right up at the top of the screen there. You can just see the blue hat really stretching forward now.
So in these longer events, you've got to obviously manage the whole 200 metres, so you can't go out too fast, but you can't go out too slow either.
Pacing is very, very key in a 200 metre event. It's about making sure that you get that second half just right, so that you've got enough in the tank to bring it home. And it's looking like Chanel Snedden's having a great swim out here. Still working well off the turn, 6 metres underwater off that turn. And it's by working on those skills that she's really going to make big improvements, Duncan.
Yeah, so the 14-year-old from that very promising first programme, and she's one who has made good leaps and bounds in the last year, and coming in 2:21.40. So a nice improvement on her 2:26 entry time, and in the end, pretty commanding win for her. Beth Armour, the early leader, coming second. So there is Chanel. Always look so calm after they've swum. Yes. Of course, clearing the pool for the backstroke events. And we follow her out of it. So we just wait for the official result to come through. So maybe just a little delay on that coming through. So I don't know whether we got some query, maybe, as we follow the camera up to the other end.
Lovely shot of the pool though. You can see how clear that water is there. So fantastic conditions to race in here.
And there is the official result. Chanel Snedden 2:21.40, Beth Armour second 2:24.87, and Caitlin Duthie third. So into the water. Times on this one 2:25, 2:26 entry times. And the field, Robin Crawford of Ren 96 in 1, Jennifer Ritchie of East Lothian in 2, Caroline McIntosh, City of Aberdeen in 3, Sarah Donnelly of Carnegie in 4, Jenna Lafferty of First in 5, India Dodd of Warrender in 6, Charlie Cavens of Warrender in 7, and Rachel Saxon of South Lanarkshire in 8. Lane 4, Sarah Donnelly. Looks like she's going to just have the edge at the 15. Not too much in it between her and India Dodd. India Dodd, probably best known as a distance freestyler. Quite often in the 200 back and the distance freestylers double up. They seem to be something that's compatible.
Yeah, very much so. You do see those switches. Remember years ago we used to have people like Rob Lang and Darren Ward. They used to be very interchangeable. Used to see those guys used to swim 1500 meters on backstroke and do different races like that. So it's just showing that they can adapt from freestyle to backstroke quite well.
Yeah, I do remember first time I commentated on Rob Lang doing that, being slightly mind-boggled when as soon as he dived in on the 1500 free, he turned onto his back. But no reason why you can't do that. Not sure it's the fastest way to swim a 1500.
Fantastic turns there from India Dodd though. This is looking like a really strong swim that she's putting together here. It's all about wrapping up this final 50. If she can get some good turns, then that's going to help her down these last couple of lengths, Duncan.
So she's shown some good recent form in this event. She was bronze medalist East District age groups, did a 2:21 there, so some 4 seconds faster than she's entered on here. So it'll be interesting to see if she can improve on that further this morning. We're beginning to come under a little bit of pressure from the swimmers in lane 4 and lane 3, Sarah Donnelly and Caroline McIntosh, but they're going to have to go really hard down this last length to catch India. I can't see that happening.
No, she looks like she's got this heat sewn up at the moment. Some late charges coming through, some great swims.
So it is India takes it 2:20.50, so she did improve on that time from the East Districts, so she'll be happy about that. And there she is, the Warrender's 125th anniversary this year, special cap she's wearing, and the result there, India Dodd 2:20.50, Sarah Donnelly second 2:21.93, and Charlie Cavens, another Warrender swimmer, taking third place. You can see the shot there of the swim down pool. Do you want to get right into that swim down pool as soon as you come out, or how did you used to manage your time after your swim?
Yeah, I used to like to try and get in and swim down as soon as possible, because when you race you build up a lot of lactic acid in those muscles, and you really want to flush that out as soon as possible, so sooner the better for me.
And there's a hashtag up there, hashtag SGS13, SC13 pics. That's where to send your pictures for the competition, the Instagram competition. Room 1 of 5. Guidebooks to Glasgow, courtesy of Scottish Swimming. As we move on to Heat 3, Charlotte Duff of Newburn in 1, Fiona Dixon of Highland in 2, Cara Smith of Stirling in 3, Katrina Fowley, North Ayrshire in 4, Erin Holmes, South Lanarkshire in 5, Katinka Merchant of Stirling in 6, Megan Kerr, Weston Boxer in 7, and Lauren Hodgson of Newburn in 8.
And it's looking like the yellow hat of Katinka Merchant in 6 is leading us out here, but it's very close. Very close at the moment. Eyes on lane 7 as well. It is Megan Kerr, my apologies, who's leading us out at that 50. But really all happening at the bottom of the pool at the moment. Just as you can see on the bottom of the shot, the red hat there stretching forward, coming inside the red markers now, which is the last 5 meters of each length.
And absolutely vital on the backstroke to manage your turns and absolutely know where you are in the pool. And flags, of course, help you with that, so do the red markers. But it's all about experience and doing endless repetitions, I guess, of those turns. Cara Smith now taking on the lead in lane 3, 108.64. Not quite as fast as India Dodd split from the previous heat, about a second back on that, and you've now got 3 swimmers, lanes 3, 4 and 5, all in a row as Megan Kerr just fading now. So Cara Smith, Katrina Fowley, Erin Holmes, all there or thereabouts. The yellow cap of Cara Smith just has the edge, but not a lot in it.
No, not a lot in this one. Hopefully they're going to pull themselves through this race and get some good times coming through. Could be a really strong second half to this race. Can't split them there.
Look at that, just 900s between the top 3 there. Katrina Fowley just getting the touch, 1:45.30. So this is about finishing skills now. And it looks like lane 4 just starting to move up. Katrina Fowley now has just got the edge, so see if she's just got the strength to bring this one home now. Or can one of the other 2 just push on hard in this last length? But it is looking like Katrina Fowley. She's about a metre up now as they go up towards the final 5 metres. So Fowley is going to take this. And look at the time, 2:20.71. So a nice improvement on her entry time of 2:23.57. Erin Holmes taking second, just over a second behind. And Cara Smith should be given third, but we'll just wait for confirmation of that as we see there. Got swimmers going out. So Katrina Fowley there, 2:20.71 takes it. Erin Holmes second, and Cara Smith third. So that was a good example of taking your pace, managing your pace in the first half, and then really pushing it harder in the second half there.
Yeah, very well shown. The importance of pace in that second 100, making sure that you can finish that off, and she really did come through the field in those last 75 metres, didn't she?
She certainly did. So we've got 4 heats still to come. And there is heat 4, making their way into the water. The lineup: Shannon Crawford of Geary in 1, Alexandra Clement, City of Sunderland in 2, Emma Budge of Thurso in 3, Lauren McKenzie of Elgin in 4, Murray High of Ren 96 in 5, Sophie Ross of West Lothian in 6, Victoria Milburn of City of Glasgow in 7, Alex Cunningham of East Lothian in 8.
And Alex Cunningham down in lane 8 with the Black Hats having a great start to this event. So the leader so far is Alex Cunningham in 8 and Emma Budge in lane 3. So different points of the screen just now.
So it's Emma Budge just getting the touch, but only by a couple of hundredths there at the 50. As you pan out to the whole field, and certainly Alex Cunningham is pushing it on still. Keep an eye on lane 5 as well, Murray High of Wren. So there's 3 of them, all fairly close, and then over on the far side, Alexandra Clements and Shannon Crawford, a couple of metres back. But starting to move up in lane 3, Emma Budge, right up from the north of Scotland, Thurso. So a big shout out if you're from the north. Give us a tweet.
This is fantastic here. We're having some great racing. Lane 3 going so strong at the moment. Emma Budge really leading through this.
Yep, Emma about a metre up on Mari High, coming down towards the 150. And Mari is maybe closing on her.
Starting to get the feeling that Alex Cunningham spent a little bit too much in that first half of the race. She's just starting to drop off the pace, and our two leaders, like you say, are Emma Budge and Mari High at the moment. Mari High with a fantastic turnover of her arms. You can see she's really spinning them at a faster rate. That's starting to make a real move away from Emma Budge. She turns first.
Mari High, the 16-year-old from Rennes, looks as though she's going to take this. She's got about 1.5 meters in hand now as they come towards the finish. So Mari High, her entry time 2:20.96, and so takes a nice improvement on that, 2:17.72. That's the fastest we've seen so far. So good swim there. Another one who managed it nicely, didn't go out too fast, and then gradually came through the field. And there is the 1, 2, 3. Mari High first, 2:17.72. Emma Budge second, 2:19.23. And a very good swim there from Alex Cunningham. She really pushed it hard from the outside lane, and she was rewarded with third place. So we move on to the cycle seeded heats now. So your heat tactics, if you're in a centre lane, maybe just on the cusp, say you're in lane 5 or lane 3 in one of these seeded lanes, how would you approach that?
Well, I always used to take heats as a great opportunity to try and scare any of the guys who may have been in the inside lanes, give them an idea that I was coming for them. So my tactic was always to try and really get out there, set my stall out, and get them really thinking about me as a racer.
So we'll see what these guys do. Rhiannon Gilks of City of Glasgow in 1, Ola Adams of Geary in 2, Chelsea Lawson of Canadian 3, Sophie Smith of Loughborough University in 4, Megan Briggs of Warrender in 5, Jennifer King, North Ayrshire in 6, Lucy Ellis, City of Sunderland in 7, and Lauren Jokes of City of Glasgow in 8.
So we're seeing the centre lanes here and watching the red heart of Megan Briggs in lane 5 with fantastic underwater so far, really using her turns. So it's going to be interesting to see if she can hold that all the way through this race. But coming up each time out of the turn, just ahead of Sophie Smith in lane 4 with the blue hat. So it's going to be an interesting race here.
Yeah, Megan, of course, was in the British team at European Juniors last summer. Just missed the medals in this event, 4th place, so very good 200 backstroke. That's very much her event, 200 back.
And she's really putting a stamp on it so far, Duncan.
It really goes through just what you were saying about, look, I'm here. Sophie Smith would have been perhaps the more fancied swimmer here, but Megan's saying, hey, you've got to think about me. About a metre between them now as we're into the second half of the race.
Fantastic underwater there, Duncan. That was just incredible. This is a great, for any of the guys watching at home, this is just a great sign of what world-class backstroke should be. Really good, great streamlining underneath, under the water. Good strong kicks right up into that stroke. If you guys are watching at home, then please do get in touch with us. Let us know what you're thinking of this at the hashtag SGSC13Live.
And coming down into the final end, it is still Megan holding the lead here, although Sophie is now coming up alongside her now. Are they going to be racing in here, or are they happy just to see what happens? Very close, and Sophie just edging it, 2:11.25. So maybe she just knew, well, Megan, you may think you've got this one, but I've got a wee surprise for you. And she just nicked it there, 2:11.25.
Yeah, she knows she's been in a race though, Duncan.
And the result confirmed there for you. Sophie Smith, 2:11.25. Megan Briggs, nice race from her, 2:11.37. And Chelsea Lawson third, 2:12.40. So I'm sure both of those two girls will be in the final tonight. You'd be very surprised if they're not there. Of course, we've got some great backstrokers to come. The Welsh girl, I'm sure she'll be at Glasgow next year. Georgia Davis, she goes in lane 4 in this next heat. Saw a terrific 50 battle between her and Lizzie Simmons last night.
Oh, it was incredible. It was incredible. One of the highlights of the night. And there was a lot of great racing, but that was a definite highlight of the racing.
So Georgia, her second swim of these championships, going in lane 4. The full lineup: Chloe Barclay of Western Bartonshire in 1, Alicia McCrory of Derwentside in 2, Lucy Hope of Best in 3, Georgia Davis of Loughborough University in 4, Kirsty Simpson of Carnegie in 5, Emma Smith, City of Birmingham in 6, Camilla Hattersley of City of Glasgow in 7, and Lisa Curry of South Lanarkshire in 8.
So, as you predicted, Duncan, Georgia Davis in the centre lane in that pink hat, lane 4, is leading the field out. It was a fantastic sight to see when the backstrokers' heads are really nice and still, holding that really good line, following the ceiling of the swimming pool, and that really holds the stroke all in line so that there's a nice efficient stroke being swum.
3 Scottish teenagers around her: Lucy Hope, Kirsty Simpson and Emma Smith, all pretty much in the line, about a metre back on Georgia, so some promising talent from the Scots as well here, and well, both Lucy Hope and Emma Smith up there, just 3 or 4 tenths back on Georgia at the halfway point. So another example maybe of these swimmers, particularly maybe Emma Smith in lane 6, showing don't forget about me.
You're so right there, because as we've already seen, the places into the final are so tight, so you've really got to make sure that you get out there and post a fast time in these morning heats, and that's what these girls are doing as they turn onto the last 50. It's still Georgia Davies holding, but Emma Smith and Lucy Hope are having fantastic swims as well, so let's hope that they can finish this job off really well here.
So at the 150, Georgia was about 8 tenths faster than the previous heat. And Lucy Hope is probably her main challenger now, but look at the difference in the turns there. Georgia just really pushing through off that turn, and that's given her about a body length advantage, which she takes into the finish. So Davis takes it 2:09.93. So in the end, just over a second faster than the previous heat, so she'll comfortably be in the final. Nice swim there from Lucy Hope, 2:10.76. That's only about 3 tenths away from the Scottish junior record from Lucy, so watch out for that later on. And there is the 1, 2, 3 confirmed for you. Georgia Davis 2:09.93, Lucy Hope second, 2:10.76, Emma Smith, the Birmingham Anglo-Scot, 2:11.93 in third. So final heat, Elizabeth Simmons, Charlotte Mackenzie to look out for in this one.
Yeah, centre lanes are going to be supplying some fantastic racing if yesterday's racing is anything to go by.
And of course, Lizzie Simmons, in fact Charlotte Mackenzie, you see not there, so Brooke Gillies, the reserve, coming into lane 5, so there's a wee surprise. So just running through the field then for this final heat: Shona Mackie of West Lothian in 1, Emily Grant, City of Aberdeen in 2, Rachel Williams, University of Bath in 3, Lizzie Simmons, University of Bath in 4, Brooke Gillies of Carnegie in 5, Lucy Walton of City of Sunderland in 6, Karen Reid, South Ayrshire in 7, Hayley Duffy, City of Aberdeen in 8.
And as we see Lizzie Simmons there in lane 4 in the white hat, showing a masterclass of underwater as we watch her turn here again and use that fly kick to come up, past 10 meters there off that turn, and really just stomping away from the rest of the field here, Duncan.
Yeah, this is a different class of swimming, isn't it? And certainly at the 50, over a second faster than the previous heats. We saw Lizzie pushing it really hard in the heats yesterday. In fact, she equalled the British record in the 50 backstroke in the heats to go on and beat it in the final. So it'll be interesting to see how fast she goes here. The British record 2:00.83.
I was speaking to Lizzie last night before the finals, and she's moved obviously across to the University of Bath now, and saying she's really enjoying life there. It's a really good setup and a nice team to work with. So it would seem that, like we've known all too much in the past, Happy Summer is most definitely a fast swimmer, Duncan.
Yes, she certainly looked very happy. Saw big smiles from her on the podium last night. And look at this, she's about 10 metres up with 50 to go, 1:34.01, pacing around the 33 mark for that last one. So I think 2:07-ish time. The fastest so far 2:09.93. So looks very much like she's maybe just easing back a little bit now. And that's in relative terms, because still huge class. You can see just what a big lead she's got there as you saw her going past the swimmers coming towards the wall. And this is just a huge victory for Elizabeth Simmons in this final heat. By over 10 metres, she takes it 2:07.41.
That's a brilliant lead to take her into the final.
So just need to see there, Rachel Williams, it looks like, just by 400s taking second from Emily Grant, but we just wait for confirmation of that. As Lizzie, nice hats, a second hat, most of them wearing two caps. So, what do you call it, an undercap, I suppose? And there is the 1, 2, 3. Lizzie Simmons, 2:07.41, takes it. Rachel Williams, 2:15.55, just 400s ahead of Emily Grant, 2:15.59. So lovely stuff there from Lizzie Simmons, and we'll be interested to see what she can do this evening. We should see the summary, and we seem to have missed the first 16, so these are the ones who haven't made the final. So if your swimmer's name's not on this list, then they did make the final.
Yeah, it's good news to be omitted from that list, it would seem, today.
Next up, the men's 200 IM. So always a good, fun race to commentate on, with different strengths coming through on different elements of the IM.
We've got some real big swimmers coming through in this one as well. It'd be fantastic to watch.
Yeah, the likes of Pavoni, Roebuck, Sharanik, of course. And there is the first heat line up there. Apologies about that wee shimmer on the screen for you. Hopefully we'll resolve that quickly as we move on to that first heat. Cameron Nelson of Carnegie in 1, Alistair Robertson of Aberdeen in 2, Claire Doughty, Dundee City Aquatics in 3, Ross McDonald of Ren 96 in 4, Finlay Douglas of Geary in 5, Taylor Young of St Thomas in 6, Simon McCormick of Derwentside in 7, and Martin Douglas, City of Glasgow in 8. So the early action over on the far side there, and turning first just Alistair Robertson of Aberdeen, 28.40 his split. You can see there 4 swimmers very much aligned into the backstroke leg.
Yeah, great start at the top of the screen there. It's looking like Alistair Robertson in lane. The white hat is having a fantastic backstroke leg here. He's really going to try and stretch this right down to the wall and get onto this breaststroke leg. But everything can always chop and change about, Duncan, so we might see some of the breaststrokers come through on this third leg.
Yeah. Cameron Nelson in lane 1, so on paper the second slowest in this heat, but just 500s behind Alistair at the halfway point. So into the breaststroke, as you said, quite often things change here, but at the moment it is still those two in lanes 1 and 2 absolutely together halfway through breaststroke. Maybe some of the others maybe making up a little bit of ground, but they've got a lot still to make up.
Yeah, it's looking like the edges of the pool are swimming very, very well. Lanes 1, 2 and 8 having great swims out today.
So at the 150, see who gets the touch here, and it is Cameron Nelson this time, 1:42.57, the Carnegie swimmer on the far side.
Yes, it is. It's going to be a real head-on battle between Cameron and Alistair here, but Martin Douglas in lane 8 just yet, because some good races still to be had.
But I don't think they're going to catch these two, so it is a head-to-head here in lanes 1 and 2, and it looks like the Carnegie swimmer Cameron Nelson just has the edge, and he does take it, 2:14.19. So when you've got a swimmer beside you like that, you must be very aware of it, and it does the temptation just to focus on that swimmer.
Oh, very much so. You've got to try and stick to swimming your stroke and not get too kind of taken in by that moment.
So the 1, 2, 3 there, Nelson, Robertson and Douglas, 2:14.19 through to 2:15.38. Alistair Robertson 2:14.53 in the middle. So Cameron Nelson then entered 2:16.80, 2.5 seconds inside that. As we move on to Heat 2. Field for Heat 2, Ross Leslie of South Lanarkshire in 1, Alistair Campbell of Dumfries in 2, Oliver Kincarter of Portsmouth North Sea in 3, Daniel Tippin, City of Aberdeen in 4, Aaron Todd of Perth City in 5, Ross Gale, Ren 96 in 6, Finlay Williamson of East Lothian in 7, Daniel McGregor of Warrender in 8. So again, lanes 1 and 2 off to a fast start here. So there's something about those lanes at the moment. 27.55, Alistair Campbell leading the way after the fly.
And Alistair Campbell having a fantastic backstroke swim here. And a really nice fast tight turn there, and using all of that real good speed, that good energy to get up into this second length of backstroke, and he's just stretching away from the field right now, Duncan. Let's see how his breaststroke fares as well.
Yeah, that was a very impressive backstroke set from him, 59.32. So about a 31.8 for his backstroke. He improved on his entry time at the meet in Dumfries last weekend, 2:13 he did there, so that will be the target he'll have in his head, to get under 2:13. Let's see if he can do that. Starting to move up in lane 4 is Daniel Tiffin, the City of Aberdeen swimmer.
Yeah, having a fantastic breaststroke swim here from lane 4. Yeah, Daniel's having a really good crack at getting back at Alistair from lane 2. But it's Alistair's just powered up on that freestyle there. Lane 2, the blue hat, you can just see in the top left of your screen. He's really stretching forward here. Great leg kick that's driving him forwards, and I can't see him being caught by anybody here. So we're just going to keep an eye on the clock to see if he can break that 2:13, Duncan.
Yeah, you can see really working hard down this final length, and he's looking very good. Look at that, it's going to be a big improvement. Wow. 2:08.34, so a man down in your neck of the woods, Andy.
Well, that's brilliant. If you can bring all that good race and that good feeling back with him, then yeah, spread around the southwest, that'd be superb.
So great stuff from him, puffing a bit, but he's got a pretty good excuse for that. Alistair Campbell then, 2:08.34, Daniel Tiffin second, 2:12.08, and Ross Leslie third, 2:12.91.
Alistair also being the backstroke swimmer in that medley relay last night, and having a fantastic swim out there, so it's brilliant to see them doing it day after day.
Yeah, the strength of that Dumfries swimming program now has really come on in the last couple of years, and it's terrific to see. Of course, a nice facility now at the DG1 Leisure Centre in Dumfries. On to Heat 3 then. Fraser Spooner of West Lothian in 1, Kyle Fawley of Derwent Side in 2, Robbie Moore of Highland in 3, Morgan Berryman of City of Belfast in 4, Joe Middleton, City of Sunderland in 5, Scott MacArthur of Stirling in 6, Ian Rose of Warrender in 7, and Callum Reid also of Warrender in 8.
Well, it was a fantastic start from Robbie Moore from that dive straight into the butterfly. Really, he just exploded off the start and carried it all the way through, and he's just having a fantastic swim out in this first half here. So yeah, the last name, Moore, definitely wants it.
So we'll see whether he can sustain this through the other strokes, but certainly gave himself the best possible start here. Lane 5, Joe Middleton from Sunderland. Lane 1, Fraser Spooner. Halfway point, 59.56, about a quarter of a second back on Alistair Campbell's halfway split. Still, it's Robbie
really
Moore.
Attacking it here, keeping an eye on the edges as well, because down in lane 8, Callum Reed's also having a great swim out there as well. So for eyes peeled on how he gets through the second half of the racing. But you're right, it's Robbie Moore who's really stretching out there. His lead's been shortened a little bit, but he's still looking strong into to his final 50.
So you see him coming through the 150 there, and he's still got a fairly healthy lead there, 138.32. Now slightly faster than Alistair Campbell's split. So Alistair Campbell finished off on 2:08.34. Let's see if Robbie Moore can get inside that. Boy from Inverness. So of course another with a terrific facility, the Inverness Aqua Centre. And let's see, also keep an eye on lane 8. Wow, Callum Reed just came from nowhere there in that freestyle element. Robbie maybe just feeling the pressure at the end of the race there, but Callum Reed explosive at the end there to take it 2:10.01.
Yeah, that was a fantastic finish.
And 4.5 second improvement. The summary there, 2:10.01 for Callum Reed, Robbie Moore second, 2:10.68, and Scott MacArthur third, 2:11.72.
Yeah, Callum Reed just showing that the breaststroke leg really brought him back onto terms, and his second half of that race was fantastic. It really reeled Robbie Moore back in there.
It seems to give you a momentum if you have a strong breaststroke that you can take into the freestyle. But I guess it's the start speed that you've got compared with some of the others. As we move on to Heat 4, Donny Price of South Mainland in 1, Jonathan Shearer of City of Glasgow in 2, Matthew Anderson of Warrender in 3, Callum McGregor of Lerwick in 4, Callum Deansvelgen in 5, Jack McComish of City of Glasgow in 6, Joseph Miley of Geary in 7, and Cameron Finlayson of Hearts in 8.
And it is Cameron Finlayson that's going to touch first on this fly leg. Great opener from lane 8 there, and he's had a brilliant turn there as well. He didn't have much on the touch, but really used the underwater and managed to make almost half a body length up and out on the rest of the field. And his turn's actually swimming away from Joseph Miley, who's just inside him at the moment. Those are our leaders, 1-2 at the moment. Bottom of the screen first, guys. So Cameron Finlayson there with a white hat. He's going to be turning onto this breaststroke leg first. So halfway split there of 1 minute .20, a little bit slower than some of the other heats.
Yes, it is a little bit, about half a second slower than the last 2 heats, but Finlayson certainly is dominating this at the moment. There he is. You can see the distinctive Hearts cap there that Cameron wears as they turn halfway through the breaststroke, and at the moment no sign that anybody is really making a major challenge on him. Lane 7, Joseph Miley, of course, Hannah's brother.
We've got Jack McCormish as well coming through well on this breaststroke, so we'll just keep an eye on who's got it left in the bank for this freestyle leg, because it's starting to open out across the pool for second and third. But leader Cameron Finlayson really gone through his legs on this freestyle, doing a great job. Eyes up on Donny Price at the top of the screen, lane 1 as well. So it's going to be an interesting 1, 2, 3 here. Looks like Cameron Finlayson from Jack McCormish, and then all the way up to the top of the screen on Donny Price. Let's keep an eye for this.
Jack McCormish, a terrific finish from him. He's almost up with Cameron. Cameron in the end looked like he was just hanging on, but he did. 2:10.55, cruised by 2 seconds, and Jack McCormish second. And Jack McComish there in second, 2:10.79 is a new S15 hearing impaired British record for Jack McComish. Donny Price taking third. So that's his second British record of the morning from Jack. He's swimming well, moved to Glasgow this year.
Brilliant. Some people haven't even had a cup of coffee yet, and he's already broken 2 records.
To Heat 5. Daniel Lim, Warrender in 1, Gavin Haggerwood of Geary in 2, Ryan Flanagan of City Sheffield in 3, Lewis Coleman, also City of Sheffield in 4, Lewis Smith, University of Stirling in 5, Ross Woolley of Warrender in 6, Joseph Faulkner of City of Sheffield in 7, and Joe Yeoman, City of Aberdeen in 8.
and this is the first of the seeded heats here now then, Duncan, and centre lanes providing some great racing so far. Leader Lewis Coleman in lane 4 having a great opening half, but like we've said all too many times before, Lewis Smith of Stirling in lane 5, he's not afraid of a good battle, and I'm pretty sure he's up for it today. So these are the two swimmers in lanes 4 and 5 that are going head to head here.
Well, City of Sheffield always had a very strong programme, terrific facility of course in Ponds Forge, and they produce regularly top quality swimmers.
They really do, and you can see the strength of that programme that comes through in their swimmers. Had some great distance swims from their boys last night, and this is just a fantastic swim up by Lewis Coleman here as he maintains his lead over Lewis Smith in lane 5, and Ryan Flanagan swimming very well in lane 3 as well, really coming forward in his swimming now as well, so it's great to see.
So Coleman at the 150, 131.81. Be looking now to bring it home strongly. He is the ASA champion from last summer, 5th in the British Championship, so has good pedigree in this event, and looks as if he's got enough to hold the other two, Flanagan and Smith, away from him, though having a pretty tight contest for second. Looks like Flanagan is going to take second behind Coleman, who takes it 2:00.65. So that's a pretty good time to take with 2 heats to go. See how many can get inside that. There will be a few, I suspect, but not too many. Sure that Coleman will have booked his spot in the A final with that. And the official result there for you: Lewis Coleman 2:00.65, Ryan Flanagan second 2:01.31, Lewis Smith third 2:02.03.
So next heat brings us Roberto Pavoni, and he was looking in great form on that 400 free last night, Duncan. So let's see what he does on one of his main events now.
And away they go. Ryan Brown of Best in 1, Nicholas Cook of Dermot Side in 2, Fabian Whitbread of Warrender in 3, Roberto Pavoni of Loughborough in 4, Max Litchfield, City of Sheffield in 5, Stuart McIntosh, City of Aberdeen in 6, Tris McComb of East Lothian in 7, and Callum Laurie of First in 8.
So, like we predicted, Roberto Pavoni taking it out through this fly leg here. A really talented 200 fly swimmer as well, so really using that to his advantage, and he breaks out here at about between 11 and 12 metres on that backstroke, but he's being pushed all the way by Max Litchfield from City of Sheffield. Again, a great shout out to their programme. They're just producing quality on quality at the moment.
Yeah, Litchfield is a very promising future for British swimming. Silver medalist in the European Juniors last summer in this event. And look at his backstroke leg there. He's right up there with Pavoni now. In fact, he has the edge by 100ths, just 100th in it, 55.46. They're over 2 seconds faster than Coleman was at that point.
That's fantastic, because we were blown away by the last heat, so this is looking fantastic. Sub 2 minutes here, Duncan?
Well, you would think so, wouldn't you? Because these two are at the moment showing no let up. Maybe Pavoni just edging back into the lead, quite a long way back to 3rd place. That is lane 6, Stuart McIntosh, the City of Aberdeen, but it is Pavoni 1:30.24, Litchfield 1:30.25, 100th. The difference.
Litchfield looking so strong off that wall there, and he's really trying to stretch away from Pavoni here, and they're being watched by Joe Roebuck from the next heat and Mark Sharanek, and those boys have got something to think about now as Litchfield in that red hat stretches away from Pavoni. So eyes on the clock here, guys.
So we predicted under 2 minutes, and we're getting under 2 minutes. 1:59.50 for Litchfield, 1:59.65 for Pavoni. So they're the fastest two with 1 heat to go. And Nicholas Cook of Derwentide coming in to just sneak 3rd out of Stuart McIntosh's grasp there at the death.
So this final heat, as they stand up ready to race, Mark Sharanek looking so strong yesterday. I think that he'll probably want to try and take command of this heat very early on here.
So you saw the summary there: Litchfield first, Pavoni second, and Cook 3rd. So 1:59.50, that's the target set for this final heat.
got incredible talent there on the lineup. 3, 4 and 5 and 6, very fast swimming.
Roebuck, of course, swam this in the Olympics in 2012. And away they go. Suleiman Butt of Aberdeen in 1, Alistair Miley of Geary in 2, Adam Harrington of Loughborough in 3, Joe Roebuck of University of Bath in 4, Mark Sharanek of Carnegie in 5, Duncan Scott of First in 6, Adam Hollows of Derwent in 7, Ross McCafferty, City of Glasgow in 8. We're keeping an eye on Duncan Scott in this one. He's been smashing Scottish junior records all the way through, including two times over yesterday, so maybe we'll get that as well today.
So we will keep an eye on that racing, but centre of the pool, as we predicted, we've got Joe Roebuck just narrowly leading at the moment, but Mike Sharanek really trying to get in the mix and trying to take hold of it. But we've got Mike Sharanek in lane 5 of the black hat, Joe Roebuck in lane 4 of the blue hat, and Adam Harrington in lane 3 as well. So all very accomplished medley swimmers as they turn in blanket really there for going on to the halfway point, going on to the breaststroke leg.
So at the halfway point they were about half a second back on the times from Litchfield and Pavoni. So a little bit of making up to do in the second half if they want the centre lanes, and it's Sharanek, I think, who's just coming through in the breaststroke. Was great all round there. We saw him win the butterfly yesterday. The Carnegie swimmer off to the States next season, but he'll be hoping to do that via Glasgow in the summer. The youngster from Carnegie, 1:30.86.
Yeah, that's right. We are going to see him go off to do some training stateside, but we're going to enjoy his racing here this morning as he really tries to break away from the other two swimmers. He has the lead on the turn, and he's got good underwater, so can he finish it off and just hold off Joe Roebuck in 4 and Harrington in 3?
I think he can. Is he going to go under 2 minutes? It's going to be close, so I think he is. And he does indeed. 1:59.37. He'll have lane 4. So that was a really strong second half from him. So I think we're going to have an absolutely cracking final tonight in this one. Harrington taking second. 1:59.79. There's the summary for you. So Sharanek 1:59.37. Harrington, as I said, 1:59.79. Roebuck third. And 2:05.67 for Duncan Scott. So a little bit off the Scottish junior record this morning, but we'll wait and see whether he's in there. There's the top 8. Lewis Smith just sneaking into the A final. And the next 8, so we'll see Scott going in the B final with Suleiman Butt alongside him, another junior, so that could be interesting. And these swimmers just missing out. Chris McComb will be first reserve. Always a horrible place to be. 2:07.71 for him.
Yeah, you're quite right. First reserve's not a position you really want to pick up, as is 4th place. 4th when you just miss the medals. That's another one you want to try and avoid. So yeah, but top job of racing there this morning. We've seen those guys really standing up. You saw some smart swimming there, people wanting to try and make sure that they book themselves in centre lanes. Mike Sharanek really wanting to make sure gets that lane 4, that real advantage, so he's right in the thick of the action for tonight, so exciting.
Yep, very much so. So we move straight on to the women's 100 butterfly. This one I think may be one of the more open events. There's a number of swimmers who get in there. We'll watch out later on for the likes of Rachel Kelly, Emma Wilkins, the Loughborough swimmers. Raquel Matos, a great promise from East Lothian, so keep an eye on her. But in the first heat, we've got Ines Holiday of Elgin in 1, Julie Williams of Mulgrave Bearsden in 2, Kirsty Hunter of East Lothian in 3, Erin Cummins of Perth City in 4, Danielle Gilbert, Derwent in 5, Elsa Beck, South Aberdeenshire in 6, Hannah Zurich of Warrender in 7, and Jodie Bunker, City of Sunderland in 8. Great start in lane 2, Julie Williams.
Julie Williams, yeah, swimming out very well there, and some different styles of strokes here, Duncan. Naturally, you used to always say that there would be a dolphin-like motion, but you try and stay quite low to the water, but then Chad Lacoste comes along and starts to swim a stroke and become Olympic champion in events, and just breaks all the rules. So there's no real trademark butterfly stroke now. It just seems whatever works for you is the best practice, right?
But obviously fly was your thing, so what would you be focusing on in the 100 butterfly?
Well, especially as the girls come into this final part and we watch lane 3 of Kirsty Hunter finishing really strong.
And Kirsty has held it up.
I'll let you think about that and answer that during the next one as we just bring that one to a close. It was Kirsty Hunter, as you said, 107.35. Very close though, Jodie Bunker right there with her. And Danielle Gilbert. And there's the 1, 2, 3. Hunter taking it, 107.35. Bunker second, 107.37. Danielle Gilbert third, and 107.66. To the start list up there for you. So Lauren Hodgson of Newburn in 1, Kirsten Clark, City of Glasgow in 2, Rebecca Smith of Warrender in 3, Emma Bainbridge, Derwent in 4, Amy Young of Bishop Stortford in 5, Kiana McInnes of Hearts in 6, Jennifer King, North Ayrshire in 7, Kimberly Mackay, Warrender in 8.
Yeah, so great swim out to the first 50 by Kimberly McKay down in lane 8, so we're going to keep an eye on how she progresses through the racing, and we've got some good swims out in the centre of the pool. Following on from your question though, Duncan, for me, butterfly, I always used to try and keep my legs quite high to the surface, keep those hips popping up on each kick, and that enables the arms to really stretch forward so that you can glide over the top of the water. And that girls are doing really well here as we keep Kimberly down in lane 8, having a great swim still, but the lead's now been taken over by lane 4 of Emma Bainbridge, so seeing if she can really power towards the wall here, stop the clock in a personal best, fingers crossed.
Yep, so Bainbridge came in 106.69, so knocks a second off that. 105.70 for her, Derwent swimmer. There she is. Derwent have been swimming well so far in these championships, and there's the official result. Emma Bainbridge 105.70, Kimberly Mackay second, 106.32, just touching out her teammate Rebecca Smith, and 106.38 for Rebecca.
Yeah, the teams from the northeast, Derwent City Sunderland, Newburn, all having really good races so far.
So obviously using this as one of their important meets of the season, and why not? It's a really high quality opposition, a great venue, all the facilities you want for really fast short course swimming. As we move on to Heat 3, Gulsum O'Neill of West Lothian in 1, Georgia Calendar, Mulgai and Bearsden in 2, Eleanor Spencer of Stirling in 3, Paige Lang of Mulgai and Bearsden in 4, Carissa Armijo, City of Sunderland in 5, Tiffany Bachelet of East Lothian in 6, Chanel Snedden of First in 7, Ashley McAdam, West Lothian in 8.
And it is lane 5, Carissa Armijo from the City of Sunderland, who leads us at the moment, but there's not much between her and Paige Lang. So we've got a great battle down this third 25. Now we've got to keep an eye on these turns. You want to stay nice and low to the water and tight around into that streamlined position, fly a kick in, and then a good breakout. Carissa Armijo still holding the lead here, Duncan. All out to the wall.
Yep, Carissa versus Paige Lang. I think it's this battle in the centre lanes here, and it looks like Carissa in the red cap is just going to hold on to this one, and she does indeed. 104.79, another improvement by around about a second. So good job done there. Paige Lang just behind her, and I think out to the near side, Ashley McAdam sneaking third there. We'll get confirmation. It was very tight between her and Chanel Snedden. It does look like Ashley McAdam is credited with third. Nice Texas cap there underneath her red cap for Carissa, so I wonder where she picked that up from.
I'm going to guess Texas.
Good shout, Mr. Mayor. And there is the top three. Carissa Armijo 104.79 takes it. Paige Lang 105.15. Confirmation there. Ashley McAdam did take third, 106.70 by 200ths. Yep. If you want to ask a stupid question, you get the obvious answer. Thanks for that, Andy. Heat 4, Rebecca Buse, City of Aberdeen in 1, Emma Crawford of East Lothian in 2, Jessica Wilkie, Edinburgh University in 3, Katie Stark of Warrender in 4, Leah Altoft of Derwentsside in 5, Alexandra Bryce of First in 6, Katie Phillips of St Thomas in 7, Tara Hayworth of Lincoln Vulcans in 8.
So Jessica Wilkie having a great swim out yesterday and continuing that fine form today in lane 3, as she's going to be our leader at the 50, 29.0. Really quick split on the way out, quickest we've had in this event this morning, and she's continuing that on the third 25 now.
Yeah, always had good sprint skills, Jess. Developed with the Hearts program, been swimming with Edinburgh University for the last couple of years, and I think that experience of working with that quality program is paying off for her, and she is up there, coming up strongly in lane 5. Leah Altoft, I don't think she's going to catch Jess, although she's coming up close. It was fairly close at the end, but Jessica Wilkie does take it 1:02.71. That's a nice improvement on a 1:04.93 entry time, and so that sets the target with, as we go into the cycle seeded heats. The summary there for you: Jessica Wilkie 1:02.71, Leah Altoft 1:03.01 in second, Katie Phillips from Arborough St Thomas third in 1:05.08. So as briefly mentioned, Matos, she's in the yellow cap in this one. You can see there with the LST written on it, East Lothian. Beside her, Charlotte McKenzie. Now she withdrew from the 200 backstroke, so maybe focusing on this one today.
Yeah,
possibly.
Possibly so. Maybe gives her a good chance to get that sprinting short course in. The 100 events being a little bit shorter and snappier. But eyes on Raquel Matos here in lane 4, the yellow hat. Fantastic breakout there into that.
Yeah, she's really taking it to them. Just run through the field. Caitlin Burns in 1, Meg Finnan in 2, Julie Hunter in 3, Raquel Matos in 4, Charlotte McKenzie in 5, Alicia McCrory in 6, Jennifer Ritchie in 7, and Rebecca Murray in 8.
And it is Raquel Matos who is really powering down this third 25. So quick out, 27 point out at the 50. Oh, glide into the turn there. That killed a bit of speed. She's managed to save it with some good fly kicks underwater as she stretches forward. So she's going to lead Charlotte McKenzie to the wall here. Let's keep an eye on these times. Can we go sub 60?
It's going to be close. Oh, just away from it. 1:00.04. And that was probably that turn that cost her going under the minute there, as you mentioned, Andy. Charlotte McKenzie second, looks like 1:01.73. There is Raquel. She will be thinking back on that race, and there is the result: 1:00.04. Raquel Matos winning it. Charlotte McKenzie second, 1:01.73, and Alicia McCrory taking third place, the Derwentsside swimmer.
So important to get those turns right. So important to make sure you hit that on a full stroke.
So coach might be having a wee chat about that later on as we move to heat 6. Megan Briggs in 1 from Warrender, Emma Sinclair of City of Sunderland in 2, Tame Bruce Carnegie in 3, Emma Wilkins of Loughborough in 4, teammate Elena Sheridan in 5, Gillian Clark from East Lothian in 6, Eve White of Dumfries in 7, and Anna Fleming, the youngster from City of Glasgow, in 8.
And it is Emma Wilkins who leads it out in lane 4, the black hat. A lot of these girls in for their second swim of the morning so far. And it is Emma Wilkins who's going to turn first, and Eleanor Sheridan very close behind. So it could be a good battle in this second 50 here, Duncan.
Yeah, very similar split to Raquel Matos at the halfway point, but being pushed here, Emma by Elena Sheridan, so the two from Loughborough dominating here. And you see there a lovely turn from Elena Sheridan, and that's given her about half a meter's advantage here now over Emma Wilkins, and it's going to be Elena, I think, will take this one in the end pretty comfortably, 1:00.21. So again, just missing out on cracking through the minute, but I'm sure we'll see them doing that with some ease, I would think, tonight.
Yeah, we'd hope so. Yeah, I think that they'll just try and sharpen themselves up for the racing later.
And you said that Sheridan 1:00.55 was the entry time, so she improved on that. You see there 1:00.21 to win it. Emma Wilkins second, 1:00.90, and Tame Bruce 102.19, the Canadian swimmer taking third. So two swimmers, well, three swimmers really flirting with the minute there in these last two heats. Can we go under it in this final heat? Kelly, 58.34 entry time.
Yeah, I'll call yes.
Okay, you heard it here. Mayor says yes. No pressure, Rachel Kelly, but we expect you to deliver. Rachel Sharple's 1:00.06 as well entry time, so maybe she could dip under the minute. So here we go with the final heat. Jessica Christie, South Aberdeenshire in 1. Kirsty Armstrong of Best in 2. Isabel Grant, City of Sheffield in 3. Rachel Kelly of Loughborough in 4. 5 is Rachel Sharples of East Lothian. 6, Megan Donnelly, Mulgai and Bears 10. 7, Jennifer Davis of Edinburgh University. And 8, Elizabeth Lim of Warrender.
So a really good start to this race, and again, as expected, looking to the centre lanes for the leaders as Rachel Kelly touches there, 28.0, a little bit slower than what the other two heats, so I possibly have called this wrong here, Duncan, but we don't know what the second half's going to bring.
Yep, so we
still
need
swimming down strong.
We need a strong second half here for your prediction to come through here, but she is starting to pull away here, so I don't think you're out of the hunt yet.
It was a little bit of a glide into that turn. Some of these girls really want to try and put that right before the final tonight, but yeah, Rachel Kelly really swimming away from the field here.
And I think she is going to go under the minute, so why did you ever doubt it there? Rachel Kelly, 59.63. She'll be the fastest qualifier for the final.
Well, a big thank you to Rachel for giving us that swim there and really making it an exciting last heat.
Yeah, so the summary just about to come up onto your screens. There it is. Kelly, 59.63. Grant second, 102.19. Sharple's only third, 102.79. So we'll need to see whether that's good enough to get her into the A final. I suspect it might not be. Let's see, there's the summary. Kelly there, 59.63 through to Alicia McCrory in 8th spot. You see there, Wilkie just missing the semi-final, 9. Sharple's 10th, so she didn't make the A final. There's the swimmers who just missed out. The youngster Carissa Armijo, first reserve, the Sunderland swimmer.
Just proving again how important the pacing is on that race in there, Duncan.
Yeah. Of course, they will get the second swim, and I guess, yeah, a B final, I guess, is better than no second swim. But how disappointed are you if you've missed out on the A final, or do you then go out in the B final to prove a point?
Well, any race, you really want to try and make sure you give it your 100% and take as much from that opportunity as you can. But yeah, a B final, it's a tough place to be. You really want to be in the A final because there you're in the mix. You've got a chance of getting a medal.
Okay, so we move on to the men's 50 backstroke now. So we're into a run of sprints, so fast and furious for the next wee while. And in heat 1, Andrew Sawkins in 1, Finlay Deans in 2, Cameron Arnott in 3, Spencer O'Grady in 4, Aaron Todd in 5, Scott Coots in 6, Graham McKinney in 7, Andrew Markham in 8. Look at that, absolutely in a line at the turn there. Good turn from the Sunderland swimmer down at the bottom of the pool. Andrew Markham, but over in lane 3, Cameron Arnott. And lane 1 up there as well, and it is lane 1, Andrew Sawkins, who is taking it. That was really tight, 28.70. Nice improvement on his 29.51 entry time. Another one where you've seen an outside lane coming through. Confirmation there. Sawkins 28.70, Arnott second 28.91, and Deans third 29.01. Two City of Aberdeen swimmers going well there. As we get ready for heat 2, swimmers just making their way out the pool. So whistle going for heat 2. field. Ewan Simpson in 1, Stephen Lamb in 2, Tom Bealey in 3, Paul Adamson in 4, Craig Nisbet in 5, Jack Elby in 6, Alistair Lambert in 7, and Ian Elric in 8.
So eyes at the bottom of the shot here when it pans out for lane 8, Ian Elric. He's having a fantastic underwater phase there, and he's going to pop up right on 15. He looks like our leader into this, Duncan.
Oh, by quite a way, in fact. That was terrific swim, 27.24. That is over 2 seconds inside his entry time, and on a 50, that is just, well, it shouldn't happen really, should it?
Oh, it shouldn't happen. That is an incredible PB. It's just, yeah, that's massive. 0.1 or 0.2 of a second is big on a 50, so 2 seconds. He must have been asleep last time he raced it.
Well, he certainly wasn't asleep there, and that was terrific stuff. So we're just waiting to see whether that is confirmed, though. There's some question that there may have been a disqualification from him there.
Could have been underwater too long, possibly off that turn.
There's certainly a bit of a conference going on with the officials at the moment, so we do just need to wait there. It would be desperately unfortunate if he did get DQ'd on that time, because I mean, he absolutely blasted it there.
That would have been a shame, but you guys will have also seen the same footage as us through this this great streaming from QuipuTV here.
And unfortunately, there it is. He was disqualified in lane 8 there, so it was Stephen Lamb given it 28.57, and then just 100th between Jack Elby and Paul Adamson, 2nd and 3rd. Dear, dear.
Well, the rules are the rules, so it gives him something to make sure he gets right next time. So, still a lot to take from today.
Yeah, I think that's right, and that's definitely the way he needs to think about it. Put the disappointment aside, focus on the positives that came out of that swim as we move on to Heat 3. Heat 3, Jack Harrison in 1, Daniel Gibson in 2, Scott Mitchell in 3, Graham Brown in 4, Jamie Waller in 5, Ewan Christie in 6, Callum Wellstead in 7, and Joseph Miley in 8.
So Jamie Waller in lane 5, fastest at the turn from Hart's. Going to see him pop up now. Still holding the lead, but keep an eye out for the rest of the field. Scott Mitchell looking good in lane 3.
Yeah, it's between lane 3 and 5 here, Mitchell and Waller. And it's Mitchell who takes it, 28.43 out of lane 3, the Dundee University swimmer. Just nudges a tenth or so, so we talked about a tenth or 2/10 being good, so Scott Mitchell took about 1500ths off his time. There's the summary, 28.43 for Mitchell, Waller 2nd, 28.60, Gibson 3rd, 28.65, so just a couple of tenths between the top 3. That's sort of what you'd expect in these races, I guess, tight races.
Yeah, it's always fantastic because it keeps it really exciting for us, and for you guys watching at home, it's top racing, isn't it? If you guys are enjoying it at home, don't be afraid to send us a tweet in, let us know what you're enjoying from the footage so far. We've got a hashtag for you of hashtag SGSC13 live, and we'd love to hear what you're thinking on that.
Give a shout out for your favourite swimmers as well. Do our best to relay them across. To Heat 4, Lewis Roberts in 1, Joe Middleton in 2, Aaron Law in 3, Robert Bryce in 4, Fraser Spooner in 5, Ross Leslie in 6, Joe Yeoman in 7, and Dale McCanish in 8.
And it looks like bottom of the screen for us again here, Dale McCanish from first. He's doing another big underwater. These first guys really using the turns. Eyes right down at the bottom of the screen here for the first guys.
This one's pretty tight though, lane 3 right up there as well, and in fact it was lane 3, Aaron Law, who really pushed through in the second half there and just nicked it from Dale McCanish, who in fact ended just 3rd in the end. Fraser Spooner also getting past him, I think. We'll wait for the official result. But certainly it looks like Aaron Law credited with the win there. Swimmer from South Aberdeenshire. And the Gary Patterson there. And there's confirmation. Aaron Law 27.68, Spooner 2nd 27.83, and Dale McCanish 27.86 in 3rd place. Again, some good PBs in that one. As we move on to heat 5. So Ross McCafferty, City of Glasgow in 1, Ryan Archibald in 2, Suleiman Butt in 3, Andrew McGovern in 4, Jack Ness in 5, Chris McComb in 6, Craig McLean in 7, Alistair Kirkwood in 8.
And it's those colourful shots of Andrew McGovern there in lane 4 that's looking good. He's going to come under fire from Jack Ness down this second 25 though, but he looks like he might hold on to the win.
So the two from City of Aberdeen, 25.59 for McGovern, 25.77 for Ness. So that is, as you would expect in the final 3 heats, a big up in pace, pretty much on their entry times. Wait for the summary to come up. There it is. McGovern 25.59, Ness 25.77, Ryan Archibald taking third, 26.29, just ahead of Suleiman Butt. So question on that one, Andy, was it the trunks that looked good, or was the swimmer looking good in that last one?
I think you've got to have the talent, so it's got to come down to the swimmer. But the shorts and the racing suits in general have had a big impact on swimming since the adaptation of the rules in 2008, 2009. There were the big controversy over the full body suits that people could wear. So it is great to see that it's been stripped right back to racing shorts, and it is more about the swimmer again now.
Yeah, I think that's the way we want it to be. As we move on to heat 6. So Danny Kirkham in 1, Alistair Campbell in 2, Jordan Lamb in 3, Kieran McGuckin in 4, Charlie Balderson in 5, Stuart McIntosh in 6, Craig Bowman in 7, Kieran Brand in 8.
So Kieran McGuckin had a great start there in lane 4. Charlie Balderson in 5 just really struggled off the start. Eyes down for lane 7 of Craig Bowman from Carnegie as well, is going well. It's going to be right down on the finish here.
And this is pretty much in a line there, just 200 separating McGuckin and Bowman. Looks like McGuckin got it 26.15, not as fast as McGovern in the previous heat. So we'll see, that should be good enough, you would think, for a place in the final. There is the official result. McGuckin 26.15, Bowman 26.17, and Balderson third, 26.37.
Incredible off the start. Balderson had to be able to come back and get third. It's a great result for him there. He really needs to do some work on that.
Do you think he maybe slipped off the wall?
I hope so. I hope so for his sake, because he really needs to be, especially on a 50, he needs to be making sure that he comes up at least in line with the rest of the field.
Interesting to see Rory Lamont in this one. Very much this is his thing, the 50 backstroke. The story is Western Berkshire that if 100 is a distance event for them, so
yes, you're right. They've had a number of fast 50 swimmers, haven't they?
So let's see how Rory does. Field, Gavin Haggerwood in 1, Greg Watson in 2, Callum Shaw in 3, Rory Lamont in 4, Johnny Carlisle in 5, Adam Taylor in 6, Gregor Birrell in 7, Alistair Wright in 8.
And as you predicted, Rory Lamont exploded down the first 25, and he is just dominating this field.
Yeah, terrific off the wall there, and absolutely hammered that one, 24.32, so that is a lot faster than we've seen. He is about 3/10 away from the Scottish record on that one, so you never know tonight. So Rory's certainly setting out his stake to be on the Scottish team in the 50 backstroke. Carlisle there second, 25.51. Adam Taylor third, 26.34. Tie for fourth there. Birrell. And with Birrell was Alistair Wright. So great stuff from Mr. Lamont. And the summary there for you. Just flick our way through in groups of 8. 50 breaststroke women up next. So it's much more of the speed stuff. Another event where we certainly dominated 50 breaststroke in Britain in the last year or two, with the likes of Catherine Johnson, Corey Scott, Andrea Strachan. The Edinburgh University has made this almost one of their signature events. So the first heat ready to go. Field is Danielle Joyce in 1, Shannon Patterson in 2, Emma Budge in 3, Caitlin Hamilton in 4, Lucy Allen in 5, Robin Dixon in 6, Elaine Sherwood in 7, Emma Williams in 8. Danielle Joyce over on the far side looked to be the first to turn there from lane 4, Caitlin Hamilton. Fairly close between these two. It does look like Joyce has the advantage narrowly. And then a couple of swimmers to the right of Caitlin, vying for third. Let's see who's going to get the touch on lane 8 as well. That lane 8, Emma Williams is coming through there strongly. The Malgayan best end swimmer, just nicking it from Danielle Joyce by 400ths, 36-32. 4/10 of an improvement for Emma. Almost hiding there underneath the advertising hoardings. And there's the summary. Emma Williams 36.32, just behind her Danielle Joyce 36.36, and then another 200ths to Caitlin Hamilton 36.38. So a very tight, competitive first heat there, Andy.
Yeah, I think that these 50s, it's going to be so fast all the way through, isn't it?
And you wouldn't expect too many races where there is a clear, decisive winner. On to heat 2, Heather Lees in 1, Anna Rothney in 2, Megan Feld in 3, Bethany Moore in 4, Anna Balfour in 5, Robin Patrick in 6, Meg Patterson in 7, Iona Hamilton in 8.
So, bottom of the screen here, Duncan. Iona Hamilton having a great swim out so far. Let's see what happens with the rest of the field. Great swim also from Megan Feld in 3. So they look like the two who's going to be leaving the pack.
Although Robin Patrick is also coming up quite nicely in lane 6, but it does look like Megan Feld in lane 3 is the one who's going to take it. And she does, 34.56, so quite a bit faster than the first heat. Nice swim. And we talked about 2-second PB earlier on, but that was a 1.5 seconds, so that was pretty nifty. And there's the summary for you. Robin Patrick second, 35.18, and Iona Hamilton ending up third, 35.26.
And actually just picking up on that, Robin Patrick, who was in that, he had texted in to say that she'd finally got a picture of Robbie Rennick for the Instagram picture competition, so that's fantastic to hear.
Heat 3 then, Terry Johnson in 1, Katie Robertson in 2, Lorna Blair in 3, Emma Chittleborough in 4, Lauren Jokes in 5, Lida Avery in 6, Francesca Christopherson in 7, and Sophia Green in 8. Pretty much all in a line at the turn. So it's tight to call a winner here. Lane 7, Francesca Christopherson. Lane 5, Lauren Jilks, maybe the two coming through now. Emma Chittleborough in the red cap of Warrender in lane 4. But it's tight to call here, but I think it's lane 7 who takes it. It is Francesca Christopherson, 34.81.
Great racing all the way through there, Duncan. That was great.
And another improvement of a second there for Francesca. A little hint of a smile on her face there, but not giving too much away as we wait for the summary to come up. Here it is. So now Francesca Christopherson, 34.81. Katie Robertson second.
So just like Robin Patrick from earlier, if you want to be a part of that Instagram competition, then please do send those pictures in. Hashtag SGSC13pics.
So moving on to heat 4, Kirsty Armstrong in 1, Victoria Reid in 2, Lucy Walkup in 3, Connie Mackay in 4, Emily Tang in 5, Eve Thompson in 6, Laura Harrison in 7, Robin Flockett in 8.
And Lucy Walkup seems to be leading the charge on this 50 here in lane 3. Black Hat of Carnegie. Great transition into the full stroke there. It's going to come under a little bit of fire now from Eve Thompson in lane 6. So we're going to have to keep our eyes on the scoreboard to see who can get the touch here.
Yeah, this is close. Walkup, of course, the S15 herring disabled swimmer, and 34.68. That is a new S15 world record.
Wow, that's incredible.
And she knocked off the 100 yesterday. She's added the 50 to it today. She is flying.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. World records falling on a Saturday morning.
Yeah. Terrific stuff.
Well done to her.
So coach John Sharanek has obviously got Lucy really flying this season. It's great to see. As we move on to heat 5. So Olivia Jackson in 1, Erin Robertson in 2, Samantha Caulfield in 3, Andrea Strachan in 4, Caitlin Tootle in 5, Rosie Wynn in 6, Kate Fraser in 7, Lauren Sutherland in 8.
So we've got Andrea Strachan there in the centre of the pool, lane 4, who's swimming out well. University of Edinburgh seeming to produce even more sprint breaststroke girls. And it's Andrea Strachan who looks like she's swimming to victory in this, Duncan.
Yeah, she's got about a metre on Caitlin Tootle, another one who swam well this weekend. Another strong breaststroker, but 31.95. Strachan takes it. Around about 7/10 away from her entry time, so saving that for later on. Little girl originally from the Shetlands. Was a proud member of the Shetlands team at the Island Games in the summer. Picked up goals there, and there's confirmation. Strachan first, Tootle second. As we move on to heat 6.
So we're going to keep our eyes on the centre lines again of Kerry Buchan in 5 and Rachel Wilson in 4. Good head-to-head here.
Yeah, we saw a terrific breaststroke leg in the medley relay from Kerry Buchan yesterday. I believe she's swimming through a bit of an injury, but we'll see how she does here. They field McClelland in 1, Spencer in 2, Cara Hanlon in 3, Rachel Wilson in 4, Kerry Buchan in 5, Emma Crawford in 6, Tiffany Bachelet in 7, Beth McFarlane in 8.
And it was Buchan slightly with a touch at that turn, part of that women's 4x50 medley relay that broke the Scottish record last night. But Buchan's coming under the fire now from lane 4, Wilson. Swimming through, can Buchan hold on?
It's neck and neck here on the touch. Oh, it goes to Wilson. 32.20. Not as fast as Strachan's time in the previous heat. About a quarter of a second off that. Kerry Buchan just 1800ths back, 32.38. We wait for the summary. There it is. Cara Hanlon, the junior from the Highlands, comes from the Isle of Lewis. 32.68 for her in 3rd place.
So, University of Edinburgh really filling out this final heat here. So, we're going to see who can come out on top.
Your money has to be on Catherine Johnson. That's where my money is anyway. Let's see, Katie McIntyre in 1, Kirsty Hunter in 2, Hayley Monteith in 3, Catherine Johnson in 4, Corrie Scott in 5, Paula Adams in 6, Lauren Doughty in 7, Olivia White in 8.
And you've made a very good prediction there, Duncan, because it is Catherine Johnson at that first turn, followed by Corrie Scott, but Catherine Johnson just so strong on this event.
Yeah, she's only got about half a metre though from Corrie Scott, so Corrie's giving her a run for her money here. But here's the two from University of Edinburgh, and pretty close as they come in. 31.41 and 31.78. They will be in lanes 4 and 5 respectively in the final tonight as the two fastest qualifiers. So they'll be getting to do it all again, side by side. There's the summary, and it's an Edinburgh University 1, 2, 3 and 5. 31.41 for Johnson, Scott second, Monteith third. So a bit of a break from the sprints as we move to the men's 200 butterfly now.
Yeah, yet again a change of pace. we go from extreme sprinting to back into that really essential pacing now. 200 butterfly, you've got to get that right. You really don't want to be burning everything that you have in that first 4 lengths, and then nothing for the second 100, you know, because it's a long, lonely place when you've got no energy on a 200 butterfly.
Yep, not only long and lonely, but painful as well, I would think. I'm sure you were never there. I'm sure you always managed your pacing perfectly.
Oh well, I think that I had more painful times than happy times on 200 flies. I think you'll remember that, Duncan.
Let's see how these guys get on. This is the first heat up on the board for you there, and there they are getting onto the blocks. So they feel Murray Quellen of Aberdeen in 1, Andrew Irvine of Stirling in 2, David McDonald of West Lothian in 3, Thomas Harrison of Warrender in 4, Bobby Oak of Orkney in 5, Colin Doyle of North Lanarkshire in 6, Ewan McComish, South Lanarkshire in 7, and James Murphy of Wren 96 in 8.
So James Murphy in lane 8 is our early leader, it would seem, as we approach the first 50. So we're going to see how this race plays out. Really enjoying this explosive racing all the way through here. It's been fantastic so far, Duncan. And for any of the guys at home who have also been enjoying it as much as us, remember that tickets are now on sale for the Scottish Gas National Championships at Tollcross from the 3rd to the 6th of April. This is an opportunity to see the swimmers try and achieve their qualifying times for the games. And for ticket information, go to www.ticketmaster.co.uk/Scottish Swimming or call 08 444 999 990.
Yeah, that's going to be a really tight event. I would think there's going to be a lot of swimmers who are going to be either highly delighted or highly not delighted, although they will get another chance. There's another chance in Aberdeen later in the year if the positions aren't full, but that's a big if.
That's right. You really want to try and nail those qualifying times at the very first meet, because then you can just put your head down and train for the main games. As we rejoin this race and have a quick look, we've now just had a change of leader in this race here, as lane 5 Bobby Oak from Orkney starts to come forward into this last 50. And by no means is James Murphy out of this race. He's still doing a top job down in lane 8, and just got to keep that kick going through this final 50. Keep those hips nice and high.
So I'm just looking at the age of Bobby Oak there, 27. So how old are you, Mr. Mayor?
I am also 27 there,
so you could be in there. Bobby Oak showing that, well, age will not weary him, although he's tying up somewhat badly now, and just coming in and gobbling him up in these last turns. So maybe that's why you're not in the pool just now. You didn't want that long, painful last 25. So Bobby Oak in the end, 5th place, as Thomas Harrison, the youngster from Warrender, just goes past him to take it 2:16.93. So Bobby, top tip, stick to the hundreds.
Top racing though through that heat. Really hard to call where the winners were going to come from.
David McDonald there, 2nd, 2:17.23, just 400ths ahead of Ewan McComish in 3rd. But it's good to see a revival of Orkney swimming. We've been very quiet for the last few years, and we're seeing a number of youngsters coming through from Orkney at the moment, and that is good to see. On to Heat 2, John Wright of North Ayrshire in 1, Callum Deans of Elgin in 2, Joseph Miley of Geary in 3, Finlay Williamson of East Lothian in 4, Ross McDonald of Wren 96 in 5, Oliver Kincart of Portsmouth North Sea in 6, Hamish Milne of Perth City in 7, and Tom Bealey of Aberdeen in 8. Well, this one a lot tighter at the first turn. A number of swimmers all coming to the 50 in a line here. You see who gets the touch. It's Joseph Marley in lane 3, 29.31.
Hard to split these guys at the moment. Joseph Miley having a great opening 50, but the whole field with him at the moment, probably about 4, 5, 6 of the guys all in a line. And it looks like the lead's now changed over again, so it looks like Finlay Williamson possibly had the turn as they come into the final part of this second 50. let's just keep an eye out, because the lead now looks between Finlay Williamson and Ross McDonald.
So the two centre lanes are the ones that are supposed to be leading based on the seeding, and that's the way it is at the moment at halfway, just 600ths between Finlay and Ross, 103.28 for Finlay with the touch, so a couple of tenths behind Bobby Oakes' time from the first heat, but of course he faded badly in the second half. You would hope that these guys don't do that. And coming up now into the lead in lane 5 is Ren 96 swimmer Ross McDonald.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job here, Duncan. He's stretching forward, he's making sure that he keeps that nice rate. Let's make sure that he keeps finishing off every stroke really well. But his underwater work and his streamlining is really good there. So let's see how he goes down this final 50. Second and third, Finlay Williamson and Joseph Miley battling it out there. So going to keep an eye out for this final length and see who can win in that war.
Yeah, it seems to be the contest for second. I think that Ross McDonald now looking like the favourite and starting to move up. Joseph Miley has gone ahead of Williamson, who's perhaps just fading a little bit. And he is putting in a late challenge, but he's not going to catch Ross McDonald. He takes it 2:12.05. So improves on his entry time by 3 seconds. Second place, Miley, 2:12.55. Williamson, I think, should be credited with third as we wait for the official result to come through. There is our winner, Ross McDonald. And there is the official result. McDonald then 2:12.05, Miley second 2:12.55, Williamson third 2:14.06. So all three of them inside their entry time, so job done.
Indeed, you can't ask for a better morning's work than a personal best and a 200 fly behind you.
But it's up in front of these guys, heat 3. Field, Aaron Todd of Perth City in 1, Stuart Cosgrove, City of Aberdeen in 2, Mark Elric of First in 3, Craig Barnes, Carnegie in 4, Henry Mackenzie of Warrender in 5, Joe Steele of South Aberdeenshire in 6, Conor McNeil of Ren 96 in 7, Callum McGregor of 5 Performance in 8.
And it's Henry Mackenzie who just popped up really well from that first turn from the Warrender hat in lane 5, and it's going to be between him and Craig Barnes at the touch. Craig's got the lead off this first 50, and it looks like those two guys are going to be scrapping out through the first half of this race, don't you think, Duncan?
Yeah, it's certainly looking that way. Henry Mackenzie has some form coming into this, did a 2:08 at East Districts at the beginning of the month, so it's just a fortnight to go, so he'll be seeing whether he can match or improve on that, and he looks to maybe just got the edge on Barnes. So good East District rivals at the moment, Warrender and Carnegie. They've had a couple of titanic battles to a top club in the East.
And you're right indeed, Mackenzie's doing a great job as we enter this second 100 here. And the third 50 can always be a grueling one, it really can. But Mackenzie, just turning a bit flat on the wall. He just landed a little bit flat, but he's saving it with his underwater. Streamlining is really key at the moment. And he's made that breakaway now. I can't see Barnes coming back at him now.
No, he's looking very strong here, isn't he? I always feel the third 50 sometimes is the make or break period, but yeah, just has to work on his turns. 1:34.30, he leads by about 1 3/4 seconds. Elric just getting second, a touch there, and he has got about a metre now on Barnes, and also in lane 6 up there Joe Steele. So these three battling for second, but it's Mackenzie.
Mackenzie really hurting as he's getting to these walls. You can see everything in his arms as he's trying to turn. He really needs to sharpen that up, I feel.
Yeah, well, it's good when you've got things you can still work on, but this has been a gutsy swim, a brave swim, and he's right on that 2:08.85. So he'd be well satisfied with that, you would think. Second place, it was a tight scrap, but Joe Steele, the South Aberdeenshire swimmer, taking it to 11:34 from Elric and Barnes. Wait for confirmation of that. So Henry there, blowing a bit. Why not? There it is, the result. 2:08.85, Henry Mackenzie. Joe Steele, 2:11.34. Mark Elric there, 2:11.70.
Oh, you're so right though. Mackenzie earned every bit of that PB. Really did. Fantastic swimming.
So we ready to go with heat 4. Callum Laurie of First goes in 1, Cameron Finlayson of Hearts in 2, Samuel Jones of West Lothian in 3, Edward Gray, City of Glasgow in 4, Fraser Lowther of Dumfries in 5, Nathan Watt of Arbroath St Thomas in 6, Cameron Nelson of Carnegie in 7, and Blair Doughty of Dundee City Aquatics in 8.
So hard to split them through this first 50, but keep an eye out for lane 2, Cameron Finlayson. He's had a great opening 50, and he is our leader. Only just at that first 50 though, Duncan.
Yep, Lowther is up there with him, just 400ths apart, 28.64 the split for Cameron Finlayson, but it is Lowther who has now just edged ahead. Also coming up is Edward Gray in lane 4. He is lurking in 3rd place, just behind but almost alongside Finlayson now, as Fraser Lowther is trying to make a real gap emerge between him and the followers. 1:00:42. So that is our fastest halfway split.
And it's fantastic watching Lowther's underwater. About 9 fly kicks off that wall there. Really nice fluid kicks, holding that streamline, and he's really just flowing down this length here. Let's watch this turn. Oh, not as many kicks off that turn, but still using it well, and just maintaining a lead over Edward Gray. This is a great battle we've got going on now.
Yeah, you feel Edward Gray could mount a challenge in this final 50. He's about 3/4 of a second behind as they go into it. 1:33.25 for Lowther.
It is. It looks like it's going to come down head to head. Who's got it off this last turn?
Yeah, Finlayson's in 3rd, but he's not going to challenge these 2 leaders. So final turn then. Let's see who gets the better turn. Pretty well matched through that turn, I would say. So it is still Lowther just holding on. Is he going to hold on in these last few meters? I think he maybe is going to. Gray trying very hard to catch him, but good swim from Fraser Lowther to see off the pressure there and taking it in 2:06.14. Be pleased with that swim, I would think.
Yeah, I'd hope so too. Always things that they can work on. Turns were looking good there, but didn't quite spot the finish as well as what he could have. So fantastic to be able to watch this footage back and then go away from here.
But he stood up well to the pressure from the older swimmer Edward Gray, who was breathing down his neck there, as you saw the official result there with Cameron Finlayson 3rd place. Into heat 5. First of the cycle seeded heat, return to the pool for Lewis Smith. And the field, Fabian Whitbread of Warrender in 1, Luke Buxton of City of Sheffield in 2, Felix Gifford, City of Aberdeen in 3, Lewis Smith, University of Stirling in 4, Tom Laxton, Loughborough in 5, Ryan Brown of Best in 6, David Mulligan of Warrender in 7, and Christopher Dove of Derwentsside in 8.
Oh, Tom Laxton, lane 5, guys, black hat, just watch his underwater. He's flowing into the wall. He's hitting that stroke on a full, and he's getting a great 11, 12 metres off the walls. Had a fantastic 100 fly last night, Duncan. He was second just behind his teammate, Adam. Now looking at this turn here, this is just brilliant. It's just a masterclass, just showing what that underwater can do to a 200 fly and how important they are short course.
Yeah, this is impressive stuff indeed. Halfway point, 54.28, so we're in a different league here as we go into these final 3 heats, and certainly Tom Laxton looks to be in a different league from the rest of the field here. Lewis Smith in 2nd place, but he is about 6-7 metres back here. Going through the 125 mark there.
Yeah, fantastic swimming, because Lewis Smith, always a strong competitor, and down in lane 8, Chris Dove from Derwentsside, the black hat, having a great swim, but it's hard to take your eyes off Tom Laxton's swimming as he just really treats us to a fantastic 200 fly here. From a heat swim, he's not sitting back, he's not taking it easy, he's really making sure he puts himself through a really good swim, puts on a show, and gives the rest of the competitors here something to consider and think about.
So he came into this meet with a 2:00, but you would think he's going to be inside that. So the clock just going into the 150s. This is big here. A real statement being put out there. 1:56.04. And he's put his mic down to applaud that one, and with good reason. That was impressive stuff. Second, Lewis Smith, 2:02.07. And Luke Buxton, nice swim from him, the Sunderland swimmer, in lane 2. Taking third, 2:02.74. Completion of that. There it is, Blackstone, 1:56.04. So that's a tough stand-up for the next 2 heats. Smith second, 2:02.07. Buxton third, 2:02.74. Luke Buxton into 2:05, so 2:02.74. Nice stuff from the Sheffield swimmer. To heat 6, Callum Reid of Warrender in 1, James Black of Warrender in 2, Ross Muir, University of Stirling in 3, Roberto Pavoni of Loughborough in 4, Mark Sharanek, Carnegie in 5, Craig Bowman of Carnegie in 6, Alistair Miley of Geary in 7, Ian Portier, City of Glasgow in 8.
So a smooth start to this heat here. The slight leader looks to be Roberto Pavoni over Mark Sharanek from lane 4 to lane 5, but we're going to keep an eye also on Craig Bowman through this swim, because he's sitting just beside Mark Sharanek in lane 6, and those are our 1, 2, 3 leaders at the moment. Mark Sharanek slightly taking the edge now, do you think, Duncan?
Yeah, looks like it. I think Sharanek was the winner yesterday in the 100 fly, so 100, 200 double, but I think 100's probably more his thing, but we'll see how he does in the second half here. He's certainly right there with Pavoni at the halfway point. We'll see who gets the touch. It is Sharanek by the narrowest of margins, 200s, 56.40.
Staying under Mark just a little bit longer on the underwater there, Duncan. Really just using those kicks just to try and save his arms. Hopefully he's going to try and use them in this final 50 as well. But let's just see how Pavoni responds to this now.
So approaching the 150 turn, and the two of them are still side by side. You wonder whether maybe Pavoni is just holding back and he'll let rip a bit in this final 50. Let's see. He does now have the lead by a tenth, 127.25. And suddenly he's got maybe half a metre. I thought maybe that was going to grow, but Sharanek is holding it. Final turn coming up. Pavoni is doing enough there, pacing not as fast as Laxton in the previous heat.
Big turn there from Roberto Pavoni, just managed to get a bit of free water away from Mark, and he's going to be our winner coming into the finish.
And in the end it was Pavoni pretty comfortably, 157.58, so second fastest so far. Sharanek second, 159.26, and Bowman third. So we wait for the official result, and there it is. Pavoni then 157.58, Mark Sharanek 159.26, Craig Bowman 201.47.
Into the
final heat. Jordan Hughes, North Ayrshire in 1, Duncan Scott of First in 2, Gareth Mills, City of Sheffield in 3, Matthew Johnson, University of Bath in 4, Cameron Brodie of University of Stirling in 5, Sean Campsey of Warrender in 6, Ross Woolley of Warrender in 7, and Chris Lowther at City of Glasgow in 8.
And there's our leader there at the first 50, which is Cameron Brodie, my old teammate, who's leading the charge on this one in the black hat in lane 5. And he's just leading Matty Johnson here. They've had a number of really close races in the past, so they're doing a top job against each other here. Cameron Brodie leading coming into this.
Yep, so Cameron Brodie is up by the best part of a body length as they come towards halfway from Matthew Johnson. Let's see the time, 56.39. Comparing that with previous heats, that's about on a pace with Pavoni in the previous heat, but not as fast as Laxton. So Laxton's pace still the one that they're struggling to match.
But Brodie looking really strong onto that wall. He's hitting each wall on a full, still using his turns, making about 7 meters, and he's not dying off anywhere here, Duncan. He's looking strong, he's still looking nice on top of the water, and like he's flowing.
So he's probably our top Scottish 200 fly swimmer at the moment. 1:26.99 for him at the halfway mark. He was the national champion in the summer, winner in Inverness in the North District Grand Prix in November. Did a 1:56 up in Inverness. And he's got this one well in hand here. Matthew Johnson, winner in the British Universities last weekend, so you'd expect him maybe to go quite a bit faster than this in the final. 1:58.27 for Brodie. I'll make him maybe third or fourth fastest into the final. Johnson second. It would be Mills in third. We'll wait for confirmation of that. Cameron just making his way from the pool. In a hurry to get out, and there is the confirmation there. Brodie 1:58.27, Johnson second 1:59.15, and Mills third 2:00.90. And we should see the summary of the top 8 now. In fact, I think that's slipping by you as we just watch the swimmers leave. You're seeing some of the later ones there.
Just reflecting on that event there, though, Duncan, that Heat 5 swim by Tom Laxton, 1:56.0. We really need to just highlight just how special that was, not just from a morning swim, but in general as a swim. You know, he did that all on his own, and it was just such a nice flowing swim. At no point did we think he was dying off. He seemed to just keep stretching forward and really covering a lot of ground with each stroke. So it's going to be an interesting one tonight.
Yeah. So do you think anyone is going to be able to match him tonight? They'll up their game.
I hope so. I do. I hope so.
So that will be one of many excitements to watch for tonight as we move on now to the women's 400 freestyle. Again, we've got 7 heats here and 5 swimmers going in the first heat. Isla Gordon of Stirling in 2, Gabrielle Burdess of City of Sunderland in 3, Lizzie Cleland of Best in 4, Natalie Lees of West Lothian in 5, Megan Feld of South Aberdeenshire in 6. 4:36 up to 4:38 the entry times here. So 400 freestyle, do you ever swim that seriously?
Yeah, I'll be completely honest with you here. I raced it long course one time in Sheffield at the Ponsforge long course pool there, and I really committed to the first 200 meters, and I was a senior at the time, so mainly used to race in butterfly, no further than 200 meters. So I got really involved in the first half of that race, Duncan. The third 100 I thought I was having a heart attack, and the fourth 100 I thought I'd actually died. So that was my one and only real senior 400 freestyle, and then I thought I'd leave it to the proper freestylers after that one, and I stuck safely to butterfly and away from that event.
The good news is you didn't actually die or have a heart attack, I hope. But going out very nicely here is the Sunderland swimmer Gabrielle Burdess. 4:38 entry time. A pretty strong attacking 1:02 for her first 100. Coming to the 150 now. And she's got a lead about 3 meters from the swimmer in lane 6, Megan Feld, and that translates to nearly 2.5 seconds. 36.36, so pacing around 34s.
And the City of Sunderland team producing some real great distance swimmers. Again, we saw a lot of these girls in the 800s yesterday, and they're going for the real tough events, it seems. They're not shying away from the 200 flies, you know, the 800 freestyles, the 400 freestyles. They're really challenging themselves. So great to see that City of Sunderland have got that depth in their squad to do that.
Yeah, and they've also got a nice facility there in Sunderland, right next to the Stadium of Light. Because we were lucky enough to be taken up there for our national age groups a year or 2 ago, when we were pretty much homeless in Scotland, as all our long course pools were being, rebuilt or built for the first time. We're in a much better place now, of course, with Tollcross reopened, RCP reopened, and Aberdeen about to come on stream in the early part of next year. Sunderland were terrific hosts for us. I think that was in 2012. And it's been great to see the Sunderland swimmers coming up to Scotland after that, returning the favour and always competing strongly in Scottish events over the last couple of years, and certainly doing that here is Gabrielle.
We're just got to keep an eye on Megan Feld right down at the bottom of the screen there as well, in the blue hat with the white badge on, because swimming a very level race here, it seems, and bilateral breathing. She's getting all of the finer points right at the moment, it seems. So we're just going to keep an eye on how the distance between these two swimmers goes through the race, and if that gap can be closed.
Looks to be staying fairly steady at the moment, but it's getting to the sharp end of the race now. As we approach 3:50, Gabrielle been pacing just under the 110s, so we'll be looking at something in the low 4:30s for her here. I think maybe could, if she got a really good sprint on, could nick under the 4:30. That would be impressive on a 4:38 entry time. See quite a long wait before we wait to see third swimmer coming through, and then the fourth swimmer, Natalie Lees and Lizzie Cleland, and then finally Isla Gordon. And a fairly peaceful turn end, so as we see the swimmers waiting for the final swimmers to come in here, and it is going to be Gabrielle Burdess who leads them in, and her time 4:29.89. So she did go under 4:30 there. Well done, Gabrielle, and held that lead over Megan Feld 2 seconds ish at the end. Natalie Lees, I think, will be credited with third, so we wait for the official result to come through. And there it is. Burdess then 4:29.89, Feld second 4:31.70, and Lees third 4:42.28. Heat 2 getting ready to go. Go Beth Armour of Aberdeen in 1, Ella Shilliday of Stirling in 2, Zoe Scott, City of Glasgow in 3, Olivia Jackson of South Lanarkshire in 4, Victoria Milburn, City of Glasgow in 5, Elsa Monal of West Lothian in 6, Elsa Timoney of Warrender in 7, and Faye Hindmarsh of Newburn in 8.
Very close over lane 2, Ella Shilliday of Stirling.
So the early leaders at the bottom of the screen, are we seeing? We're seeing a real charge from Faye Hindmarsh from Newburn, and she's going up alongside Gulsamono from lane 6, and this looks like it's going to be our early battle here, doesn't it, Duncan?
Yes, it does, although lane 2 as well, Ella Shilliday is not far off the action as well. So these three of them as we come towards the 100, so Gabrielle was a 1:02 at this point. That just gives you a judgment. So this is not quite as fast, in fact. Faye Hindmarsh leading them through 1:03.37, so about a second back on the first heat at this stage. With these three swimmers all fairly competitive, they could push the pace on nicely as the race progresses. If you're in an outside lane like this girl, Faye in lane 8 here, and you've got to swim way over in lane 2 up there, fairly close to you, do you have any idea that she's there?
Well, my knowledge of swimming freestyle, like we said, is fairly limited. But whenever I did race out any of the 100 freestyles or anything, any of the shorter events, then you breathe into the side, so you can get a glance across. But this is a long pool when you think about the length it stretches up from the bottom of our screen up to the top of our screen. You're thinking that that's 20 meters that you're looking across the pool there, so you've got an idea, but you've just got to try and stick to your own plan and keep pushing forwards. And it's good to know that you're in a race against somebody, but you don't want that to affect you too much. You want to stick to your plan, and you want to be able to keep doing all of those small finer details really well, because that's what's going to make the big difference at the end of the race.
see Faye is breathing on her left-hand side all the time, so half of the race she's facing the wall, and the other half she's facing across the pool. But she's going nicely here. Coming up now in lane 5 is Victoria Milburn of City of Glasgow, so she could well be a threat in the second half here.
Yeah, Faye just wants to be a little bit careful. She's really close to that blue lane line, and we mentioned with Charlie yesterday that sometimes you kind of, because you're used to swimming round in a circle when you're lane swimming in training, sometimes when you come to race, you automatically get back into that rhythm of being really close to that lane line there, and sometimes you can clash with it. So just want to be careful of that.
And if you do circle swim, of course, it's adding distance to your swim as well, so that's something to be avoided at all costs. So 3:19.60 at the 300s. Now, they've now moved faster than the Gabrielle split, about a second and a half. And I think we could have a pretty tight contest at the end of this one, because Victoria Milburn is almost on terms now.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you there, Duncan. It does look like she's starting to really attack now. She's got a real powerful stroke, really stretching forward, nice still head, and I think driving into this final part of the race.
So 50 to go, and there's still a second in it. So let's see whether Victoria can continue to challenge. At the moment, Faye is holding her off pretty well here, coming towards the final turn, and it's looking like Faye is going to hold this off. She's got the best part of her body length in hand coming down this final length. There's going to be no problem for her. She is going to take it. So a nice swim out of lane 8 from Faye Hindmarsh of Newburn, and she comes in to win it there, 4:26.81. So nice swim, 9 seconds inside her entry time for Faye, the 15-year-old from Newburn. So another from the northeast of England making the trip up north. So big shout out to all of you if you're watching from Tyneside, Wearside, or any parts around there.
Yeah, following that on, yeah, I think it looks like we've got we've got some fantastic teams and some fantastic swimmers from the northeast that are going to be coming later on in this event, and such strength coming from there, such as Derwentside and City Sunderland. So yeah, it's great racing.
And there is the result there. Hindmarsh then 4:26.81, Milburn second 4:28.55, and Jackson third 4:31.72. So on to Heat 3. If you are from the northeast of England, you can go and get a quick cup of coffee for the next 4 minutes, because there's none of your swimmers here. Lauren Mackenzie of Elgin goes in 1, Fiona Dixon of Highland in 2, Alexandra Bryce of First in 3, Connie Mackay of Wren in 4, Emily Hewitson of Dumfries in 5, Emily Horn of Perth City in 6, Jennifer Henderson of East Lothian in 7, Kirsten Clark, City of Glasgow in 8.
And it is Emily Horn who's going to be turning first in lane 6, and she's wearing that black hat, and the dark hat anyway. I think is it a dark blue? I think Perth City usually dark blue.
They're usually red, but so I think that is actually a Midland District cap that she's wearing, and I think that is a black cap with the M, that sort of swirly M on it, which is for Midlands.
So we're going to see how she commands this heat here. But we're going to keep an eye just up at the top of the screen as well on Lauren Mackenzie from Elgin up in lane 1, because she's out there, but she's doing a fantastic job up at the top of the screen. But eyes on the leader at the moment for lane 6 on Emily Horn. She's really commanding this at the moment. Yeah, nice calm stroke, don't you think, Duncan?
Yeah. Because under coach Anne Dixon, coach for Stephen Milne, of course one of our big prospects for Glasgow next year in the distance freestyle events. They've also got some other promising youngsters. Scott McClay comes to mind as one who's you would think will come through in the next few years, but Emily Horn is doing that Perth program proud at the moment. She is about 2-3 metres up. Starting to show is Dumfries swimmer Emily Hewitson. That's another great distance freestyle programme.
It is indeed, and it's just showing the strength that we're starting to try and develop within Scottish swimming, and I know that it's something that Scottish swimming have always been very proud of, because we've got over 20,000 individual members in Scottish swimming, and within that, over 150 registered clubs. So we've got a great depth of swimming opportunities there.
Yeah, and we've got pretty much all parts of the country represented here, from the Borders and Dumfries and up to the Highlands. Fiona Dixon in lane 2 and Elgin up north, and in the east, East Lothian, City of Glasgow are here. Wren, of course, in the west as well, first in the central belt. So pretty much wherever you go in the country, the swimmers here doing their stuff, all coming out of really good high quality coaching programs. Still though, it's Emily Horn who's got about a body length advantage on Emily Hewitts, and then 3 swimmers pretty tight for third place. Lauren McKenzie on the far side, Connie Mackay in 4 and Jennifer Henderson in 7. It's interesting to see if any of these swimmers can put in a challenge. They're just coming up to the 300 mark. Horn still leading. She's had that lead of just over a body length probably for the last couple of 100 metres. 3:18.91. He's saying just under 110s.
So let's just see that if some of the other girls can just try and just keep an eye on her just through the final part of this race, and hopefully that can try and bring them through to some best races as well.
At the moment, Emily Horn just is holding that gap. So nobody really coming at her. They're running out of time, 50 to go at this turn, 3:54. So about 1.4 is the gap. So if they're going to charge, they've got to start now.
Yeah, we'd be hoping to see that real explosion from the leg kicks, and we've just not really seen that at the moment, Duncan. So it looks like the order that we have right now is going to be the order that could be the finishing on the wall. But leading right from the start from lane 6, Emily Horn. That's fantastic.
Yeah, the battle on, I think, for second place with the Wren swimmer Connie Mackay coming up at Emily Hewitson, but it's Emily Horn. She took it out from the start and was never seriously threatened. 4:29.05 improves her entry time by a couple of seconds.
That was a great finish there from Connie Mackay. She managed to overhaul Emily Hewitson right into the finish there, so well done on that.
And the official result there, Emily Horn, 4:29.05. Connie Mackay, as you said, second, 4:30.24. Emily Hewitson third, 4:30.75. So ready to go. Heat 4. 4:27 up to 4:29, the entry times on this one. And the field, Charlotte Holmes, City of Sheffield in 1. Jenna Lafferty of first in 2. Tara Hayworth of Lincoln Vulcans in 3, Lucy Illingworth, South Ayrshire in 4, Zoe Mitchell of Carnegie in 5, Jordan Sturt of Warrender in 6, Hayley Duffy, City of Aberdeen in 7, and Murray High of Wren 96 in 8.
So Zoe Mitchell in lane 5, not afraid to really set a stall out on this one, it would seem, Duncan. She's really attacked this first 50, and she's our leader at the turn, 29.5. Best opening split that we've had so far of this event, and yeah, she leads the way in that pink and black costume. So yeah, following on from your comments before, if you look across the pool and can you see the people, yeah, there's probably a good chance that the guys up at the top of the screen are able to look down and see that bright pink costume.
I think you're quite taken by bright costumes at the moment this morning, Andy. So obviously a man of fashion.
It's safe to be seen, it would seem.
So 1:02.41 is the 100 split. Not as fast as Emily Horn, although she went out pretty fast and then sort of was going into a more steady pace as the race progressed. Different tactics, of course, the swimmers employ here. Some do like to really push it out hard and take it away from the opposition early on, and others need more of a waiting game and then really work it hard in the second half. We'll see how this one progresses.
Yeah, the battle for second place is still well and truly up for grabs. You've seen some of the swimmers really starting to chop and change as this race is starting to level out now. So still watching the centre lanes 5 and 4. So Zoe Mitchell still leading, but Lucy Illingworth, she's still in there in the mix for second place, and be interesting to see if she can try and at least hold on.
Yep, Charlotte Holmes up at the top as well is going nicely. So at halfway, Zoe Mitchell second. It is Lucy Illingworth second, 2:11.64, and Charlotte Holmes third, 2:11.98. So Zoe Mitchell, as we saw from Emily Horn in the previous heat, taking it out hard early on and then looking to be holding that lead reasonably comfortably. She's a second and a half up at the 2:50 mark, 2:44.04. So you can see on your screen there, there's a nice close-up of her stroke there. Very straight arms out of the water. But I guess what they do out the water doesn't matter so much as what they do in the water.
Yeah, very much so. It's all about the hand path whilst it's under the water, how they're catching the water at the very top of the stroke, and how they then transfer that all the way through right past the hip. So it's about making sure that you're getting a good clean entry with that hand, and you're able to transfer that all the way through and finish the stroke off.
3:18.47 now, about half a second faster than Emily Horn split at the 300. Still over on the far side, it's Charlotte Holmes. She's now moved up into second spot.
Yeah, she's going to start attacking very soon, I think, in this race.
Yeah,
I think that
to be closing the gap.
She may be able to launch some kind of head-to-head battle during this final 50 that we're about to swim into. So could heat up just now.
Talking of head-to-head battles, we've got a three-way contest for third as well. Lanes 2, 4 and 8 all up there, Lafferty, Illingworth and High, but it is Mitchell in 5 against Holmes in 1 as they come to the final turn then, and Zoe Mitchell is under serious pressure. In fact, she's been overtaken at the final turn. Charlotte Holmes of City of Sheffield is going to take this one from lane 1, and a great example of biding your time and then striking in the final 100. Charlotte 4:24.34 takes 4.5 seconds off her entry time, and that is the fastest so far. Zoe Mitchell has to settle for second. There is Charlotte. Big puff out there as she looks up at the scoreboard, and that's what she's looking at. Charlotte Holmes 4:24.34. Zoe Mitchell second, 4:25.46, and Mari High third, 4:28.38. Heat 5 is next up. 4:07 up to 4:26. So as we go into the cycle seeded heats, a much bigger range of times. Field, India Dodd of Warrender in 1, Ola Adams of Geary in 2, Abby Houston of Dumfries in 3, Eleanor Faulkner of City of Sheffield in 4, Camilla Hattersley, City of Glasgow in 5, Rachel O'Donnell of Carnegie in 6, Meg Finnan, South Lanarkshire in 7, and Lucy Walton, City of Sunderland in 8.
So yeah, we're seeing Ellie Faulkner really open this event right up here. She's putting a stamp early on this race, but what's really encouraging to see is Rachel O'Donnell trying to take that on as well, and stay in the mix of that kind of pacing to see if that can bring her out. So I think that Ellie Faulkner is going to be a fantastic talent to watch during this heat. But let's see how the rest of the girls can try and take to be swimming alongside someone of that calibre, and if that can hopefully affect them in a positive way this time, Duncan.
Yep, so 58.22, about 4 seconds faster than anything we've seen at the 100 mark, and Ellie now is about 3-4 metres up on a three-way group for second, which is comprised of Rachel O'Donnell, Camilla Hattersley and Abby Houston. Ellie, silver medalist in the British Championships in the early part of the summer in June in Sheffield. Where do you stand on this, taking a British event away from Sheffield and getting swimmers to swim in pools they're less familiar with to qualify for major events?
I love the idea. I really do. I think there's a real culture in British swimming at the moment that Ponce Forge is the place to swim fast, and when we've seen that event then be held at different locations around the UK, sometimes some of the swimmers that are real in the comfort zone in Sheffield have then been a little bit lackluster when they swam out of some of the different venues. So I think that exposing yourself to these different locations is exactly what you need to do as a swimmer, because when we go to race abroad, you're going to be going to a new pool, so you don't know whether it's going to be a fast pool or a slow pool, but you've got to make sure that when you turn up, you do the best job you can. So I'm all for the idea.
And of course they'll be coming to Glasgow in April, so we talked about the Scottish Championships starting on the 3rd of April, but not that long after that we'll be straight back for the British Championships at Tollcross, so you're going to have a feast of swimming next April in Glasgow.
Well, we are really spoiled for fantastic pools in Scotland now, and the RCP here proving to be a very fast pool, but Tollcross also an incredibly fast pool and a great feeling. So the energy of racing in Scotland is very high, always has been.
And Ellie Faulkner showing plenty of energy here as she comes towards the 300, just over the 3 minutes, 3:04.62. So just easing her pace back to about a 64 for that last 100. So that would suggest something like a 4:08, 4:09, into them 4:07. So not going to be a million miles away from that. Lane 5 now, Camilla Hattersley just opening up a gap in second place from Rachel O'Donnell. Not in shot at the moment as we follow the leader down towards the 3:50 mark. And you can see there, just coming into shot there, Camilla Hattersley, and see that she's quite a long way back, with about 2-3 metres behind her, Rachel O'Donnell. And this great group of girls at the Carnegie programme. Think of the likes of Chelsea Lawson, Tane Bruce, Samantha Caulfield and others, and of course some great boys led by Mark Sharanek. Here we go into the final few metres, and Ellie Faulkner with a 400 freestyle masterclass there, 4:07.97, so very close in fact to her entry time of 4:07.72, so a real quality heat swim there, and that lays out the message to the next two heats that I am swimming fast. Hattersley second, 4:12.16, so again very close to her entry time, a couple of tenths away from that, so nice swim from her. And O'Donnell third, 4:15.07, and she improves by 4 seconds, so she'll be well pleased with that.
Great to see that some of those girls are able to swim best times even with those bigger names starting to turn up in these seeded heats.
To heat 6. And we have Rebecca Smith of Warrender in 1, Jennifer Tatter, City of Sunderland in 2, Rebecca Turner of City of Sheffield in 3, Anne Bockman of University of Bath in 4, Aisha Thornton, Loughborough in 5, Nicola Lamb, 5 performance in 6, Laura Gillingham, Derwentsside in 7, Alicia McCracken of First in 8.
So it looks like Becky Turner's up for the race today. She's leading us out in lane 3, and Becky Turner, incredible talent from City of Sheffield. So, and we know what strength those swimmers have as well. So I think that if she can keep up this kind of pace, then this will be a good race around Bachman, and also for Aisha Thornton to try and get hold of and maybe promote some fast swimming through this heat.
Yeah, of course, Aisha very impressive in the 800 last night. Winner there, going half distance here. She is about 2 metres back in third place from Turner and Bachman. 58.44 Turner's split at the 100. So just comparing that to the previous heat, it's a couple of tenths back on it. Ellie Faulkner's time, but that's not a lot in the context of this race. Just about alongside her now, Anne Bachmann, ASA champion.
Yeah, Bachmann just starting to move into that leading spot now. I think she'll probably have the lead on this turn. And yeah, ever so slightly has the lead, but Becky Turner, this is probably the higher end of the distance that she would usually swim, but definitely not too far of a stretch for her. So well within her abilities to be able to get out there and then maintain a really strong swim all the way through.
And so it's these two against Sheffield, halfway point, 2:00.85. And with the touch again, about half a metre, maybe a metre up now. Aisha Thornton about 3 metres back now in third place, and then a big gap to the rest of the field. So these three pretty much have 1, 2 and 3 booked at the moment, the one against Anne Bachmann's name, but she's not home and dry yet.
No, not by any means yet. There's still a lot of racing to be done, but Aisha Thornton not really using her legs through this swim. We saw that again yesterday when she was racing, not really taking a lot from her leg kick. So be interested as we come into a shorter distance whether she's going to possibly try and bring them in later on during this race. But at the moment, like what we've seen for the last couple of 50s, Anne Bachmann really starting to stretch her lead now. So
yeah, she's got about a body length now in hand over Turner as they go through 300, 3:03.70. Just check that split against Ellie Faulkner's, and it is faster by about 9 tenths. So again, this one is shaping up to be a terrific final. Another terrific final to look forward to this afternoon or early evening. Great way to enjoy early evening's entertainment before you head off for your night out. 50 to go then. 3:36, plays 3:37, so almost exactly a second in it. And Turner maybe closing the gap a little bit. And as you said, Thornton has made up a bit of ground. I don't think she's going to catch the leading two, but she is closing the gap and looking to book a solid lane in the final. So these three within about 2.5 meters of each other, led by Bachmann though, and she'll not be caught now as she comes into the final 5 meters in the dark cap. Well, closing rapidly is Turner, but Bachmann knew what she had to do and did it. 4:08.09 in the end, about a tenth back on Faulkner's time. So second fastest qualifier. Bachmann just behind 4:08.29 for Turner, and 4:09.54 Aisha Thornton as the final swimmers come in. And a shot there of the Bath swimmer. And there is the summary for you. 4:08.09 Anne Bachmann, Turner second, 4:08.29, Thornton third, 4:09.54. And you see what a gap there was then to fourth place, 14 seconds. So into the final heat, and the surprise here is an empty lane in lane 4, so that was due to be filled by Caitlin McClatchy, so she's not here, which is I guess a disappointment for the crowd, but opens up opportunities for these other swimmers. Running through the field then, Gillian Clark of East Lothian in 1, Jennifer King, North Ayrshire in 2, Danielle Huskisson of University of Stirling in 3, Sian Morgan of Edinburgh University in 5, Rebecca Murray of First in 6, Lucy Ellis, City of Sunderland in 7, and Chelsea Lawson of Carnegie in 8.
So Sian Morgan opening up this heat and really starting to attack through the first 100, trying to make a little bit of a breakaway. It'd be interesting to see how this race goes on with Danielle Huskisson obviously in lane 3 and having that gap beside her, whether she uses that as an advantage or whether that's a little bit of a problem, because there's no one there to try and feed off. So right now she's just about battling for about the 3rd position, so early on in this race, so positions can always chop and change about.
Sean been up in the Edinburgh University programme for a year and a bit now. Welsh girl, I'm sure looking to be a part of the Welsh team in Glasgow 2014.
Yeah, that would be incredible to see a lot of the swimmers who are racing out here for good December racing to then take these times and try and replicate them long course, which without as many turns, obviously it's really a bit of a task, a bit of a tough job to try and replicate these times when you're in that longer 50-meter pool, but it's some great goal setting today and this weekend. So to see these guys then do that and qualify for those games would be incredible.
So big year for Sian Morgan, and she is leading this one. This is not as fast as the previous 2 heats, of course, minus the swimmer from lane 4. So I guess from that perspective, not such a surprise. But Sian Morgan has a comfortable advantage here, about 4 meters over Danielle Huskisson in lane 3, and then Rebecca Murray in lane 6. 35.87 at 250. It leads by 2 seconds on Huskisson, then another just over a second to Murray. So they're the 3 leading the way, with 4th place Lucy Ellis some way back, and then the other 3 much of a muchness. Danielle Huskisson, of course, very much distance and open water specialist, was a member of the British World Championship open water team, performed very creditably there, and she is closing, I think, here.
Yeah, it does look like she's really almost negative split in this swim. She's really using the second half as a stronger part to this race, and be interesting to see the balance of splits from the first 200 to the second 200.
And she's got the lead down to about a body length now, because as an open water specialist, the 400 is a sprint for her. And see what she can do. Has she got some finishing speed here to pose a threat in this final 50? She is gradually pulling the lead down, but I think she might run out of pool time. Rebecca Murray on her own in 3rd now. She's well back from the swimmers in front of her. So final turn they've completed, and it's still about a body length Sian Morgan has over Danielle Huskisson, so that is going to be the result. Morgan then coming in to take it for 11.11, and that is inside her entry time by a couple of tenths, so good solid swim from Sian. For 11.92 for Danielle Huskisson. It was slight improvement for her on her entry time, so Rebecca Murray 3rd for 18.23. See that summarised once the referee gives the nod. And there it is for you. Sian Morgan in first for 11.11, Danielle Huskisson for 11.92, Rebecca Murray 3rd for 18.23. And there's your summary, the top 8. Rachel O'Donnell making up the final place. And from that heat, Sian and Danielle both making it. B finalists there. Rebecca Murray going in that one. Abby Houston the fastest in the B final. And there's the swimmers who just miss out. Saw that good swim from Zoe Mitchell earlier on. He made it up to 18th place, 2nd reserve. You never know, might be some withdrawals.
Yeah, you just never know in sport how the day's going to pan out. So back to the sprinting now.
100 freestyle. Can't wait. And we've got 7 heats once again here, and it should be fast and furious. Even the slowest swimmers here, 53 seconds. We've seen a real step up in class in the last couple of years in the quality of swims here in the short course championships. So just to get in, you have to be able to swim 53. Not bad. So the field then. Jack Ness of City of Aberdeen in 1, Graham Brown, South Ayrshire in 2, Alistair Wright, Derwent side in 3, Adam Hollows of Derwent side in 4, Jack Colroyd, Edinburgh University in 5, Rory Kirkwood, City of Glasgow in 6, Ross Hughes, North Ayrshire in 7, and Ryan Archibald of Warrender in 8.
So it's Alistair Wright in lane 3, Derwent side with a white hat, who looks to be leading us up, but it's so close between him and Rory Kirkwood in 6. It's going to be interesting. Rory Kirkwood seems to have taken over the lead now as he powers down the third 25. But Ali Wright still in the mix of this race, so going to see how this last turn.
Adam Hollows coming up as well in lane 4. He's joining those two, so it's going to be a three-way contest. Chad Ness on the far side, not too far away, but it's lane 3, 4 and 6 are going to decide this one. It's going to be on the touch. I think Kirkwood is going to take it. Oh, it's close, but it is Kirkwood. 51.98. Wright second, 52.09. Hollows third. Chad Ness just out of the top 3 there.
What a brilliant opening heat there, though. That was fantastic.
Yep, they came in 53s and breaking through 52 there into 51.98. Rory Kirkwood, Alistair Wright 52.09 second, and Adam Hollows third. So a very fast first heat there, and the second heat matched them. Field in heat 2, Johnson Shearer, City of Glasgow in 1, Ewan Dunbar, City of Aberdeen in 2, Eddie Watson, City of Aberdeen in 3, Callum Bain of Dungannon in 4, Dale McCanish of First in 5, Greg Watson of Fife in 6, Callum McGregor of Lerwick in 7, Cameron Park, South Lanarkshire in 8.
Callum Bain exploded off that start there, Duncan in lane 4, and he's leading all the way through at 50, 23.7's a quick first 50 split.
We asked if the second heat can match the first heat, but certainly Callum reckons he can. What a swim from him. He leads by about 3 meters going in through the final turn and out of it as well. Second place Ewan Dunbar, but he's not going to catch Callum, so the Irishman really pushing this one on here. This is a terrific swim. Is he going to breathe just over the 50 seconds? 50.62. Whoa. Yeah, going fast here. Entered 52.75, so 2 seconds inside that. Has to be happy with that.
From heat 2, we're being treated to some fantastic racing already.
Ewan Dunbar second there, 52.15. Eddie Watson third, 52.82. Well, what can heat 3 do then? The challenge has been laid down. So just a little pause here, not quite sure why. The swimmers have been asked to come off the blocks. The whistle goes again, so they go right back onto them. Just these little things getting in the way, just can't let them distract you. So away we go. Nicholas Quinn, Edinburgh University in 1, Graham Hunter of Perth City in 2, Robert Price of Geary in 3, Ian Elric first in 4, Zach Dawson Derwent side in 5, Ewan Simpson of Perth City in 6, Dale Wellstead of Warrender in 7, and Johnny Carlisle of University of Bath in 8.
And it's Johnny Carlisle down in lane 8, that silver hat that we're going to look to for the first 50 turn. And it's another 24.0 on the way out. A little bit slower than what the last heat was, Callum Bain, but let's see how he can keep it going. He's the clear leader at the minute, right down the bottom of the shot. With second in lane 7, Dale Wellstead, and third, Zach Dawson at the moment. But let's see how they do down this last lane. Johnny Carlisle looking strong, head down. Backstroker by trade, but going well on the freestyle, Duncan.
Yeah, let's see where he comes in. Another one who's flirting with the 50 seconds, 50.82. Just a couple of tenths back on Callum Bain's time, so a nice swim and a good PB from Johnny Carlisle there. Wait for the summary to come up. And there it is, Carlisle taking it 50.82. Zach Dawson second, 51.83. Dale Wellstead third, 52.27. So the Bath swimmer, but I think he comes from the Sunderland background. He's just down to Bath for the first time, I think, this year.
Yep, you're quite right there, Duncan. He does indeed.
empty lane in lane 4 here. So the field, Gavin Hagerwood in 1, Stuart McIntosh in 2, Simran Wilkes in 3, Ewan Govan in 4, in 5 rather, Alfie Howes in 6, Felix Gifford in 7, and Adam Taylor in 8.
So Simran Wilkes looks like he could be the leader on this at the moment.
Yeah, very much a freestyle sprint specialist. 50 is probably his best event, so let's see whether he can hold it in the second half here. He scored 2.5.
He's going to come under a bit of pressure now from Alfie Howes, who's got a real great background of 200 distance, so he's coming through now.
Yeah, but Howes just looking more and more powerful as this race progresses. In the end, he's going to be a clear leader here. And so it's Howes in lane 6. Oh, 50.03, fastest so far. Surely we're going to go under 50 seconds soon. 52.04, Howes' entry time, so another big improvement. Adam Taylor coming through for second. You see that summarised now, 51.59. So Simran Wilkes, the early leader, ends up third, 51.66. To heat 5. Mark Campbell in 1, Solomon Butt in 2, Richard Schaefer's in 3, Ryan Bennett in 4, Jack Scott in 5, Rob Bale in 6, Jordan Hughes in 7, Craig Bowman in 8. Another 50 specialist here, Richard Schaefer's leading them out in lane 3. We saw him equal his own Scottish record last night in the 50 freestyle. So another one who maybe just needs to hold on in the second half here. I'm sure he'll be working on the 100 here to be part of the relay team and possibly individual swimmer as well.
It is
for
indeed.
Scotland.
We've got teammates Rob Bale and Jack Scott at the bottom of the screen as well, the red and blue hats, and Bale's looking like he's going to come through. 200 freestyler from London.
Oh, it's going to be close
and it's
here
going to be
between
Schaefer's to win, I think.
Yep, Schaefer's held on, and 50 seconds is history now as we go through that. 48.87 for Schaefer's, 6/10 inside his entry time. He'll be happy with that, I would think. So good start from him. Second there, Rob Bale, 49.05. And third, 49.63, Jack Scott. And that is only 4/10 away from the Scottish record there from Schaefer's. So nice swim. Into heat 6, Andrew Weatheritt in 1, Joshua Walsh in 2, Jack Thorpe in 3, Braxton Tim in 4, Alistair Sterling 5, Matthew Park 6, Daniel Scott 7, Eamon Rivers in 8. Andrew Weatheritt over on the far side, already 2 gold medals in these championships in the 50s. Preston 3.
Yeah, it's going to be a hard one to call this, and he's going to be our leader at the top of the screen.
In fact, it's Thorpe, 23.50.
Jack Thorpe in 3. Wow, right, okay, this is going to be a very close race as we see lane 1, lane 3 and lane 7 doing battle.
Daniel
so it's
Scott
right
in
across
7.
the field.
Yeah, lane 2 coming up, Josh Walsh as well, and lane 4, Braxton Tim looking very easy there, lurking away. But let's see who's going to get the touch though. I think between 3 and 7, and it goes to 7. Daniel Scott, that's a great swim from him, 49.59. So, big year for Daniel. I think he'll be pushing hard again, and also to make the team to Glasgow.
Yeah, and fingers crossed for him. He missed the last games in India, so it would be fantastic to see if we can get him onto that team for Glasgow.
Just a 10th behind Jarvis. So great swimming there as we move to the final heat. And there we see Robbie Rennick in lane 4. And the field, Craig McLean in 1, Mark Sharanek in 2, Callum Jarvis in 3, Robbie Rennick in 4, Kieran McGuckin in 5, Adam Barris in 6, Duncan Scott in 7, Andrew McGovern in 8.
We're going to see lane 6 really using his underwater Adam Barrett after that fantastic 100 flyer last night. So looking at that, those 4 centre lanes there, and it is Barrett who's leading at the turn. Great underwater there as well, as he seems to just smoothly swim out. Robbie's still on terms with him here though, so it's going to be between 6 and 4.
Jarvis not too far away, but it does still look like Barrett has got the edge here, and I'm not sure Rennick is going to catch him here. Of course, he sneaked into the final in the 400 yesterday and then won it, so we'll see whether he does here. 48.72 then Barrett takes it. 48.93 for Rennick in second. 49.20 Jarvis in third. Should see that summarised for you any moment now. And there it is then, Barrett, Rennick and Jarvis, the top three. And 49.47 Duncan Scott, a new Scottish junior record there. So terrific stuff, sixth place there, but a new Scottish junior record, yet another one from Duncan Scott.
In that environment as well, that is fantastic. Fantastic racing there, because sometimes when you're up against those senior guys, you can sometimes get washed away by the other athletes that are there racing, especially when they're putting down times of 48 points. But he hasn't been put off by any means in that one, has he?
Not at all, no. It just seems to be every time he goes into the water at the moment, it's another best time, and he's pretty much rewritten the Scottish Junior record book at the moment.
Wow.
It's pretty, across a whole range of different events. So terrific stuff. But straight on, 100 IM. That's our last event of the morning. We seem to have flown through this morning. Where did it go?
Into some fast swimming.
So I hope you've enjoyed it, but there's still some good racing to come in this 100 IM. Should be competitive here. So we run through the field in Heat 1, Georgia Callender in 1, Olivia White in 2, Eve Thompson in 3, Victoria Reid in 4, Kirsten Clark in 5, Katie Stark in 6, Carlson Myrtle in 7, Paige Lang in 8. Did you ever flirt with the 100 IM, Andy?
Yeah, I think that it's especially in the early parts of the season. I used to have to swim them quite a lot around September through till December, and it's a really good explosive event that gets your heart rate up, and for me, always really important for almost like a training style swim.
And it's a great technical skill swim, isn't it? And if you've got strong technical skills here, it'll help you no end. And it's lanes 2 and lane 6 here. Olivia White, Redmond University, and Katie Stark of Warrender. So an Edinburgh contest on the go here with third place Kirsten Clark. I think it's maybe going to be the Warrender girl that's going to take it, Stark. And she does, 106.98. So a nice PB for Katie. She came into this meet 110.12, so over 3 seconds inside that. There she is. Just having a look at the world. And there is the result. Katie Stark, 106.98 in first. Olivia White second, 107.33. And Kirsten Clark third. So on to Heat 2. Cara Hanlon in 1, Emma Budge in 2, Julie Williams in 3, reserve in, that's Lucy Walkup in 4, Lauren Sutherland in 5, Kate Fraser in 6, Caitlin Burns in 7, Jennifer Ritchie in 8.
And it's a great lead here in lane 3 from Julie Williams. So interesting to see how that progresses through onto the breaststroke. No hiding on 100 IM though, Duncan. Every stroke you've got to go as hard as you can, because you just don't know what specialists you have in the field. So there's no pace in our field to 100 IM. It's just a 4-length sprint. As we can see, as lane 1 makes an attack forward here, Cara Hanlon doing a fantastic breaststroke leg, turning first.
Yeah, we saw her as the breaststroke junior champion last night in the 100 breast, so she's used that to great effect, and just taking that momentum from the breaststroke into the freestyle, and in the end a very decisive win there in 106.76, about a third of a second faster than the previous heat. So great, she swam from the Highlander. Comes from the Isle of Lewis, Cara. Stornoway.
Scottish junior record broken.
So pretty much as remote as you can get.
Indeed,
Come
indeed.
down and is setting the target times here in the youngsters, particularly in the breaststroke, but a great 100 IM there. There's the summary. Hanlon first, Kate Fraser second, 108.41, Emma Budge third, 109.16. In fact, a tie for third there, I think, just coming up there, 109.16. Heat 3, Amy Harper in 1, Rebecca Hughes in 2, Connie Mackay in 3, Katie Phillips in 4, Danielle Joyce in 5, Katinka Merchant in 6, Lynn MacArthur in 7, Erin Holmes in 8.
So hard to split this heat here, but possibly a leader either from lane 7 or lane 1. It's hard to call at the minute, Duncan. They're very, very closely matched through this first 50.
See who gets the touch on the scoreboard. It's Lynn MacArthur in lane 7, 30.22. So not as fast as the previous heat. Of course, we saw things change around in that heat in the breaststroke, and over on the far side, Amy Harper from Lerwick. So we saw somebody from Lewis in the previous heat winning. Now we're seeing the outer Northern Isles taking their turn. Amy Harper, quite an experienced swimmer, has spent time in the Edinburgh programme, back in Lerwick now, sporting that Lerwick Shetlands cap. Coming through strongly in 5 though is Danielle Joyce, the S15 swimmer. So that's a terrific finish from her, just not quite enough to take it. So it is Amy Harper who took it on. And second place, Danielle Joyce from Katie Phillips. Should see that summarised for you. There is Amy with that Shetlands cap on. Amy Harper then, 107.49 to win it. Danielle Joyce second, 107.68, and Katie Phillips third, 108.48. Heat 4. Kirsty Armstrong in 1, Ishbel Roger in 2, Tiffany Bachelet in 3, Terry Johnson in 4, Rachel Keir in 5, Shannon McClelland in 6, Kimberly Mackay in 7, Eddie Duthie in 8.
And there's 3 girls all battling for the lead at the minute, but I think Rachel Keir just has the lead on lane 5 in the silver hat, but we're going to keep an eye up on lane 1 as well for Kirsty Armstrong, because she's looking strong too.
29.99 then for Rachel. Does most of her swimming in Masters circles now with Silver City, a terrifically strong Masters club from Aberdeen. But she is showing she can do it with the younger swimmers here, although once again over in lane 1. What is it in lane 1 at the moment? Kirsty Armstrong this time, the borderer going well, and also Kimberly Mackay, the Warrender swimmer in lane 7. It's Kimberly who's moved into the lead now in lane 7, and a very good breaststroke leg from her. And I think she is going to take it, although Kirsty Armstrong is working hard on the far side, but Mackay takes it, 106.66, Armstrong second, and McClellan, the Dumfries swimmer, in third. Just wait for confirmation of that, 106.66 there, Kimberly Mackay. So that's the new fastest time we've seen, and a bit over a second of an improvement. Wait for that to be confirmed. Just seeing a little bit of a pause, I think, before the swimmers. The referee gives the nod to that one, but I think they have now. And that was the 1, 2, 3. Mackay first, Armstrong second, McClellan third. As we move to heat 5. Jessica Wilkie in 1, Rachel Wilson in 2, Catherine Johnson in 3, Kerry Buchan in 4. In fact, that's not Kerry Buchan, that looks like the Dundee City Aquatic swimmer, Amy Robertson in 4. 5, Matos, Raquel Matos. 6, Orla Adams. 7, Emily Grant, and 8, Rhiannon Gilks.
And Raquel Matos just using that underwater, like we've mentioned on her so many times before, using the underwater on the backstroke, touches first to onto the breaststroke leg. She leads the field by quite a way on this one, which is what we'd expect as we come into the seeded heats. We're having a great swim through from Catherine Johnson on the breaststroke leg, and 3 though, as we'd expect, and they're going to turn pretty close together, so it's going to be a battle on the freestyle.
Yep, so Matos against Johnson, lane 5 against lane 3, and it's still the yellow cap of Raquel Matos, and she is pulling away now from Catherine Johnson, who's no mean freestyler herself, but this is Matos who takes it. 1:02.62, 8/10 inside her entry time. So nice heat swim from her. Second, Catherine Johnson. Rachel Wilson, I think, getting third there. 1:04.45. And there it is summarised for you. Matos 1:02.62. Johnson second, Wilson third. So the penultimate heat of the morning session, Leah Altoft in 1, Samantha Caulfield in 2, Caitlin Toothel in 3, Charlotte McKenzie in 4, Eloise Barber in 5, Tame Bruce in 6, Emma Smith in 7, Zoe Mitchell in 8.
Great underwater from Eloise Barber, and she's going to need it to try and stay on terms with Charlotte McKenzie as they go through the backstroke leg. They're going to turn pretty together on this. Charlotte just getting the touch. Let's see on this, the pullouts underwater, taking their time, up they come. Eloise Barber just using the better of the underwater there to come up with a white hat in lane 5. She's our current leader. And it's going to be interesting to see how the rest of the places go, because Eloise, being a very fierce freestyler, she should be able to hold on to the victory here. So it's going to be the battle for third place, I think.
Yeah, Barber well in control of this one. Mackenzie in comfortable second as well. Over on the far side, Leah Altoft looking the favourite for third. Just getting it from Tame Bruce. So the winner there, Eloise Barber, 1:03.15. So you suspect that there's more to come from Eloise there, that she wasn't going at full tilt there in the end of that. And the result of that, about half a second back on Matos' time. Mackenzie there second, Altoft third. So last race of the morning session about to come. So in this last race, Lucy Hope in 1, Rachel Masson in 2, Rachel O'Donnell in 3, Sophie Smith in 4, Corrie Scott in 5, Kirsty Simpson in 6, Rachel Sharples in 7, Emma Crawford in 8.
And it's Sophie Smith in lane 4 with that blue hat that's looking really good at the start here, and Kirsty Simpson as well going well. So we'll see Corrie Scott just a little bit back off the field in lane 5, but a great breaststroker, so let's see if she can make a dent in the order as we come onto this breaststroke leg. But 25 metres, not a lot of time to make a big change to the order, but she's doing a fantastic job, Duncan.
Yeah, but it's very much Sophie Smith dominating this one. She was the fastest of the 3 seeded heats at the halfway mark. So the fastest time so far, 1:02.62. Sophie coming into this meet with a 1:00, so you'd expect her to be the fastest as she comes in now, and coming in 1:01.05, so she'll have lane 4 in the final, assuming that result is ratified. Rachel O'Donnell, strong finish from her to take second, 1:02.85, and Corrie Scott, after that strong breaststroke, comes up to third place. That's confirmed for you there. Sophie Smith, 1:01.05. Rachel O'Donnell second, 1:02.85. And the summary of the top 8 there. Rachel Masson making the final, Charlotte McKenzie as well, Corrie Scott got there, with her teammate Catherine Johnson, the B finalist, where we just didn't see too long time to see that. Wilkie Caulfield just missing out as we run through the remaining fields. So it's been a good morning swim, Andy. Anything stand out for you?
Oh, a couple of things. I'm obviously biased, being a past fly swimmer. The 200 fly just looked incredible from that men's event today. Tom Laxton just blowing the field away on that 56.0. I think it's going to take a good swim from Pavoni and Brody to get on terms with him tonight. So some good swimmers to come through. 100 freestyle men's as well. Robbie Rennick against Adam Barrett and Schaefer's. So yeah, there's a lot of top quality swimming. And yeah, how about you? What do you think?
No, I certainly enjoyed a lot of it. I think early on as well, we saw the women's 200 backstroke and Lizzie Simmons looking as if she's right up for more fast swimming from her. Right up at the top of the program, we had that 50 freestyle. Amy Smith looked fast. So yeah, some terrific stuff this morning.
Indeed there has been, and it's not just what we've been enjoying as well, guys. We'd love to hear what you've enjoyed most out of the morning session. So if you could give us a tweet back. The hashtag for that is SGSC13Live, and also if you've got any pictures and you want to get involved in that Instagram competition, please do send those pictures to hashtag SGSC13Pics. You can see those Twitter hashtags on the top of the screen there. That competition, the winner will win one of 5 guidebooks to Glasgow. So yeah, fantastic. And that's the end of the racing for this morning. But how's the rest of the day looking, Duncan?
Well, we've got the youth swimmers this afternoon, along with the men's 1500 freestyle. So one for the purists there. We'll be back on air just before 1:15. We start swimming at 1:15, so do join us then. So you've got just over an hour to get your lunch in, get any jobs done that you needed to do, and be right back with us. Then later on, of course, we've got our finals, which start at 5:30. So just after 1 o'clock, we hope to see you then, and again just before 5:30. But in the meantime, this morning from the Royal Commonwealth Pool, my thanks once again to Andy Mayer. It's been great to be with you this morning, and we'll be back with you again in around an hour's time for some more great swimming from the Scottish Gas National Short Course Championships here at the Royal Commonwealth Pool. But for now, it's a very good morning to you.
2013 was great, but I'm getting ready to make 2014 even better.
It'll be a great night just to catch up, relax, and as a swimmer actually get to dress up and look normal.
And then a chance to see lots of people from all around different parts of swimming and have a good evening with them.
The awards ceremony was fantastic, with most people turned out ever, so years to come it's just going to get bigger and bigger.
Tickets for the Scottish Gas National Open Swimming Championships are on sale now.
The wait is over.
Buy your tickets at ticketmaster.co.uk/Scottish Swimming or phone 08 444 999 990.
Come down to the Tallcross International Swimming Centre to come see me and more than 700 other swimmers compete.
The Scottish Gas National Open Swimming Championships, Tollcross International Swimming Centre, 3rd to the 6th of April 2014.